Chapter 1261 The Holy Body of Hunyuan. Human World. Yi Tian began to sort out the treasure resources obtained from the devouring clan, and the cultivation resources alone were enough for the clan to accumulate more than 10 invincible Dao ancestors. And there are many treasures that are difficult to identify, and their value is also very huge. In addition, Yi Tian also obtained a complete Forbidden Stone tablet. At the beginning, Ouyang Jor gave him a piece of Forbidden Stone tablet, which made him excited, and with the help of the piece of Forbidden Stone tablet, he realized the Forbidden Way. Today, the value of this complete taboo steel can be imagined. That is to say, the devourers do not cultivate or comprehend the Forbidden Way. For them, the Forbidden Stone tablet is just an ordinary stone tablet that records words. Immediately, the Yi Tian taboo stone tablet was sent to the temple of the human race. Except for the guardians of the human race who could comprehend for free, it was only developed for the high-level people and geniuses of the human race, and a certain price had to be paid. In the following days, Yi Tian has been identifying those treasures, and every day has almost a big surprise. A few months later, Yi Tian picked up the mysterious black paper and began to study it. He also tried to destroy the paper, but couldn't leave a trace on it either. Clearly, this paper is extraordinary. The devouring clan has studied for a long time, but they have not come up with it. According to the general identification method, it will definitely not work. Yi Tian thought to himself. So, he tried to pour the power of the Forbidden Way into the paper. Because the devouring clan did not master the Forbidden Way, he might be able to identify the use of this black paper by using the Forbidden Way. Boom! The power of the Forbidden Way was poured into the black paper, and soon the black paper changed, and characters appeared on it. These words spread into his body with the power of Yi Tian's Forbidden Tao, and were absorbed by Yi Tian's soul. Soon, a method appeared in Yi Tian's soul memory. Hunyuan Holy Body. This is a method that records some kind of condensed Eucharist. If you just look at the name, the primordial saint body seems to be no different from the physical cultivation methods of the Daoshan realm. However, it is not an ordinary constitution, but a taboo body constitution. Under normal circumstances, there is no essential difference between the forbidden bodies of the Supreme Tao Ancestor and the Invincible Tao Ancestor, and they are similar. However, the Holy Body is a high-end version of the Forbidden Body, and the Hunyuan Holy Body is one of them, a top-level Forbidden Body. For example, at the same 90% tempering level, the Primordial Saint Body can easily crush the ordinary Taboo Body, and the two sides cannot be compared at all. How could there be such an inheritance method as the Primordial Saint Body in the last civilization? Even in Haifeng Mountain, there is absolutely no such method of Saint Body. Yi Tian muttered, if Haifeng Mountain had such a holy body method, an invincible Taoist like him would have been bestowed long ago. And those half-step ancestors he knew, the taboo body is just an ordinary taboo body, not powerful. Obviously, there is not necessarily a holy body method in the realm of the gods in heaven. Even if there is, it is in the hands of a very small number of ancestors, and they are not willing to pass it on easily. It is estimated that it is the inheritance of the holy body method that floated from the depths of the dark forbidden area in the last civilization. Yi Tian guessed, if the cultivators of the last civilization had really mastered the holy body of primordial, I am afraid that they would be able to compete with the devouring clan. It's a pity that this holy body inheritance method is too difficult to cultivate, and it is also too dangerous. It is even comparable to the half-step true body. How dangerous is Zu's attempt to master the dark forbidden powers? First of all, the holy body of Hunyuan needs to master 12 taboos, namely, the taboos of time, the taboos of space, the 5 fundamental taboos of gold, wood, water, fire and earth, the taboos of ice, the taboos of thunder, the taboos of wind, and the taboos of light. The forbidden way and the forbidden way of darkness. Once you have mastered these 12 taboos, you can go to practice the primordial saint body. But the most difficult thing is that the body needs to be forcibly tempered with the power of the dark and taboo origin of the 12 taboos before it can be cultivated into the primordial saint physique. And this process is too difficult, and if you are not careful, it will lead to the collapse of the forbidden body, that is, the collapse of the physical body and death. Which ordinary Taoist ancestor dares to try? Failure is death. However, this Hunyuan holy body is simply a holy body prepared for me. Others dare not practice it, but I have the talent to copy and can copy my own body for cultivation. Once I fully master the Hunyuan holy body, there are hundreds of if you are 100% sure that you can successfully train into the primordial saint body, then it will not be too late to practice the main body. Yi Tian said with a smile. In addition, once he has mastered the primordial saint body, his forbidden body may soon reach the extreme level. Originally, Yi Tian planned to let Tengfeng of the cloned body devour clan act as a spy, but now there is no intention to act as a spy. Naturally, it is the first time to cultivate the primordial saint body. Immediately, Yi Tian's devouring race body left the devouring world, but disintegrated on its own. Shortly after, Yi Tian once again condensed a duplicate body, but this time it was his own body. Wow, the cloned body left the ancient world of Xuanshu and went to the forbidden area of darkness. Because if you want to practice Hunyuan holy body, you must enter the dark forbidden area, which cannot be practiced in the Daoshan boundary. Dark forbidden area. Yi Tian's cloned body came here, kept going deep into the dark forbidden area, and flew for a long time before it stopped. It's not that he doesn't want to go deeper, but if he continues to fly, the vision and auditory hallucinations he hears are too strong, which will affect his cultivation, and it is easy to encounter some terrifying things. Manuo Jiao. So, just practice here. Yi Tian arranged a large formation, took another Taoist platform, sat on it, and began to cultivate the primordial body. Boom! The origin of the dark forbidden area came, and the power of the 12 forbidden origins was poured into Yi Tian's body. When Yi Tian urged the holy body to condense the method, Yi Tian continued to temper his body. It didn't take long for Yi Tian to scream, and the cloned body exploded. The first practice failed. Human world. Yi Tian opened his eyes and sighed. Sure enough, it's not easy to practice the primordial saint body. When the copy talent was able to copy the body again, Yi Tian copied his body again and went to the dark forbidden area to practice again. In this way, Yi Tian failed again and practiced again and again. Time goes by so slowly. Equals 1262 underscore chapter underscore 1262 underscore the underscore body underscore of underscore 100 underscore taboo.txt equals. Chapter 1262 The body of 100% taboo. In a blink of an eye, tens of thousands of years have passed. This day, Yi Tian's cloned body cultivated the primordial body in the dark forbidden realm. This time, it did not collapse and completed the preliminary training, but it was still a long way from practicing the primordial saint body, but it was a good start. After about tens of days of practice, this body still collapsed. But then, Yi Tian was able to persevere for a long time every time, and his understanding of the primordial saint body method became deeper and deeper. And just like that, another 1,000 years passed. For the first time, Yi Tian completed the first step of the Hunyuan holy body and initially practiced the Hunyuan holy body. Once the primordial sacred body is initially practiced, it means that it will not collapse again, and the most dangerous level has passed. Yi Tian did not continue to cultivate the Hunyuan holy body, so this is a copy of the body. There is no need to continue to practice, but to release the copy body, recopy the body, and recultivate the Hunyuan holy body. His purpose is to thoroughly and proficiently control the process of condensing the primordial saint body, and to ensure that he is 100% trained, rather than relying on luck. The first time you practice it, it doesn't mean you can practice it every time. Sure enough, Yi Tian failed to condense the primordial saint physique the second time he recultivated, which shows that the last time was due to luck. Fail. Fail. 497. In this way, Yi Tian has been wandering between success and failure, but as the number of times increases, the probability of Yi Tian's success is getting higher and higher. From the 30% success rate at the beginning, to the 70% or 80% success rate in the back. But Yi Tian wanted a 100% success rate, so he wasn't in a hurry to let his body cultivate the primordial saint body. After cultivating for 100,000 years, Yi Tian finally increased the success rate by 100%, because he has almost completely understood the process of condensing the holy body of primordial body. Understood. This day, Yi Tian's body left the human world and entered the dark forbidden area. In the place where he had been cultivating the primordial saint body, he began to practice the primordial saint physique again. The only difference was that this time he was cultivating on the main body, and this was the first real cultivation. Boom! The source power of the 12 forbidden ways descended and poured into Yi Tian's body. The practice has begun. Everything went very smoothly. After all, he had practiced so many times that he had almost formed an instinct, and there was no possibility of mistakes. Not long after, Yi Tian successfully practiced the primordial saint body. CJFI, the holy body of Hunyuan, is the physique of the forbidden body, which is not directly related to the tempering degree of the forbidden body. Originally, the tempering level of Yi Tian's forbidden body was 90%, but now that he has cultivated into the primordial saint body, the tempering level of the forbidden body suddenly increased by 30%, reaching the level of 93%. And after practicing the Hunyuan holy body, Yi Tian will be much easier to temper the forbidden body in the future, and as the Hunyuan holy body becomes stronger and stronger, the tempering degree of the forbidden body will naturally become faster and faster. Having the primordial saint body, I am afraid that my forbidden body will soon be tempered to 100%, and the fleshly body will be the first to enter the extreme level. Yi Tian muttered. Of course, this is not the real extreme way. It can only be said that 1/3 of the extreme way is far inferior to the real extreme way level, but it is also very powerful, which will make Yi Tian's strength fundamentally improve. In the following days, Yi Tian focused on the primordial saint body and refining the taboo body, and countless taboo strange objects were spent on his body. 10,000 years and 10,000 years have passed. The tempering level of Yi Tian's forbidden body has increased from 93% to 90%, and then to 90%. Although the improvement is getting slower and slower, it has been improving all the time. After hundreds of thousands, Yi Tian consumed a lot of forbidden strange objects and some forbidden treasures of cultivation, and finally tempered the forbidden body to 100%. 10% of the taboo body represents the extreme of the taboo body, and it also means that Yi Tian and those innate taboo creatures are already at the same level in essence, and they are considered innate taboo creatures. The forbidden body is tempered by 100%, and Yi Tian's primordial saint physique has also entered the threshold. This is a double happiness. At the same time, Yi Tian's strength also skyrocketed. In the past, he was roughly equivalent to a powerful half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, but now he is equivalent to the top half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, and his strength is definitely not weaker than Jinshin Daozu. Next, as long as he raises his soul to an immortal soul and completely transforms the forbidden power into the forbidden power, it means that all three aspects of spirit, energy and spirit have entered the extreme level, which is the real extreme realm. Now, the physical body can deny Tao power, and he can completely transform the forbidden Tao power into the purest forbidden power faster. The only thing that is difficult to do is the soul. He doesn't know what to do to be able to ascend to the level of the immortal soul. Although there is an inheritance of the extreme way to cultivate, it will take a long time. Despair. I wonder if there is a way for the devourer to increase the strength of the soul. Yi Tian muttered. Because the devourers don't practice, they only devour the world to practice, the soul must be one of the weaknesses, and he doesn't believe that the top devourers will let this defect go. After all, it's okay to be weaker in the body, and it's possible to recover from a severe injury to the body, but it is difficult to recover from a severe injury to the soul. The previous invincible Tao ancestor named Tengfeng was a very weak devourer. He must have been born not long ago in the last civilization, and he probably didn't know much about it. I still have to ask that devourer called Killing Wind. Yi Tian decided. Immediately, he copied Tengfeng's body and entered the devouring world again. Senior Sheifeng, I'm here again. Yi Tianfeng's transaction, opened the mouth and said. After the Killing Wind woke up, he was a little annoyed and said, Tengfeng, why are you disturbing me again, how long has it been? Yi Tian apologized first, and then took out hundreds of world origin crystals, which made Sheifeng feel much better. Tell me, what's the matter, do you want to trade again? Killer asked. It's not a transaction, I want to consult. Yi Tian asked earnestly, is there any way for our devouring clan to increase the strength of the soul, and greatly improve that? What are you asking this for? Killing Wind asked curiously. Yi Tian opened his mouth and said, this time I met an invincible Tao ancestor who is proficient in soul secret techniques, and I almost fell into his hands, so I want to increase the strength of my soul, so as not to fall due to soul problems in the future. Sheifeng was silent for a while, then said, there is indeed a way to increase the strength of the soul, but the means of improvement are all in the hands of those adults, and the general devourer has no chance to obtain the method to increase the strength of the soul. After all, the devourer and the devourer, there is a competitive relationship between clans, and you have no background. Is there really no way? Yi Tian was not reconciled. There is a way. Sheifeng suddenly thought of something and said. Equals 1263 underscore chapter underscore 1263 underscore entering underscore the underscore heavenly underscore realm dot txt equals. Chapter 1263 entering the heavenly realm. Any solution? Yi Tian looked very excited. Sheifeng suddenly said mysteriously. Tingfeng, you should know that our devouring clan used to have many domain ancestors, but those domain ancestors basically left here and went to the depths of the dark forbidden area. After all, they stayed in this world. It is difficult for the domain to continue to improve, so it is better to enter the dark forbidden domain to fight. And those domain ancestor level devours also left good things, which can be regarded as gifts for us devours. One of the domain ancestors, you know, is the ancestor of Mantianyu. He left a world called Mantianji. There is a soul stone tablet in it. It is said to be a treasure found by the ancestor of Mantianyu in the dark forbidden area. It can temper the soul and the effect is very good. However, if the will is not firm, the soul will be controlled by the soul stone tablet and become a puppet. When the ancestors of the sky were still there, some devours could temper their souls under his protection, so that they would not be manipulated into puppets. But now, the ancestors of the domain are gone, it is too dangerous to enter the soul stone monument to practice, so the world is blocked by those adults, and most people are not allowed to enter. Then I can't get in either. Yi Tian frowned. I have a way to let you in, but I'm afraid you won't dare to go in. Sha Feng said with a smile. What am I afraid of? Yi Tian said. Well, you go to prepare 3,000 world origin crystals, and I will let you in. But you think clearly, 3,000 world origin crystals are enough to make your strength soar. Maybe it will become a puppet there. Killing Wind reminded. Give me some time. 1. Yi Tian thought about it and said. Immediately, he left the devouring world. 3,000 world origin crystals are actually not many, but he has already extracted a small part of the origin of the human world. If he extracts more, it will undoubtedly cause damage to the human world. The human world can no longer extract the source, and can only start with the world of other forces. Yi Tian muttered. Of course, he can't start the world of other forces in the ancient world of Xuanxu, otherwise the ancestors of the half-step domain will soon find him, and there is no way to escape at that time, because the copied body of the devourer is just an ordinary invincible Daozu. However, the strength is too weak. There are a lot of Taoist realms in the Daoshan realm. As long as I don't swallow those realms, I will only devour a small part of the world's origin. This is not to destroy the Taoist realm, and I will gain a large amount of the world's origin. Moreover, my body can cooperate with the copy body action. Other half-step ancestors are also difficult to find my copy body. Yi Tian thought to himself. Thinking of this, he started to act. It didn't take long for Yi Tian to come to a top-level Taoist realm under the Wanyu Temple. There are many Taoist ancestors in this Taoist realm, but they are all relatively weak Taoist ancestors. The really powerful Taoist ancestors have already entered the ancient realm of Xuanxu to cultivate. Where would they be sent here? Yi Tian let his copy body devour clan enter this Dao world, and directly entered the world origin of Dao world, and began to swallow the world origin. Boom! The Taoist world was shaking, and the origin of the world was madly resisting, but it was unable to contend against the devouring clan. But those Taoist ancestors knew about the situation, and immediately notified those Taoist ancestors in Xuanxu ancient realm, and then reported it to the half-step domain ancestors. Soon, the ancestors of the half-step domain went to this Taoist realm to capture this devouring race. After Yi Tian devoured about 1/10 of the Dao realm, he immediately left this Dao realm and went to the next Dao realm. Not long after, the Junwu Palace Master and Qinglong Palace Master of Tiandi Palace came to this Dao realm, but found that the Dao realm was very intact, but only 1/10 of the original source was lost. Strange, why didn't this devourer devour the Dao realm? Palace Master Qinglong was puzzled. Judging from the reactions of other Taoist ancestors, that devourer is an invincible Taoist ancestor. It is not difficult to swallow a Taoist realm. It is absolutely possible to devour this Taoist realm before they arrive, but now it has only swallowed 10-1 of the origins of the world. Not long after, another Dao world was swallowed up by 1/10 of its origin. In the following days, every once in a while, a Taoist source was swallowed up, making the major forces angry. This day, the Heavenly Emperor Palace and the half-step ancestors of Haifeng Mountain opened the meeting again. At the meeting, the Palace Master of Heavenly Punishment said, "Not long ago, a Devourer clan madly devoured the origin of the Dao realm, but it is completely different from the Devourer clan before. As a result, the mysterious turtle shell of the Shuangui Daozu could not function, so he could not lock his position." Did the Devourers know about the mysterious turtle shell? Yan Krak Dao ancestor said. No, Shuangui Palace Master said. Only the Taoist ancestors who are present know about this matter. How can the Devourers know? Unless someone is present as a spy of the Devourers, then it is possible for the Devourers to know. Ask for flowers. It should be that the devourer has changed its strategy and no longer devours the world. After all, a world is devoured and gone, but if it devours the origin of the world a little bit, it can be devoured for a long time, and we have to repair it in order to keep the world running. The origin of the world. They are raising us as GU worms. Jin Chen Daozu said angrily. Yi Tian looked at each and every half-step domain ancestor discussing, and seemed to have a good guess. But in fact, why did the devourers think so much? He did all this, just to collect 3,000 world origin crystals. However, these half-step domain ancestors guessed wrongly, at least they made him no longer suspicious. In the end, these half-step domain ancestors did not discuss any results, because Yi Tian has collected enough world origin, there is no need to continue to devour the world origin, even if they set a trap, they will not be able to catch Yi Tian. Devour the world. Yi Tian came back here again, bringing 3,000 world origin crystals to look for the killing wind. When Shafeng saw Yi Tian coming, he smiled and said, "Have you collected 3,000 origin crystals?" Collected. Yi Tian handed 3,000 origin crystals to Killing Wind. Yes, exactly 3,000 origin crystals. Shafeng was very satisfied, and immediately said, "Go, I will take you into the sky." Yi Tian followed the Killing Wind and left the devouring realm and headed to a certain place in the Daoshan realm. Obviously, Mantianji is elsewhere. After a while, the Killing Wind brought Yi Tian to an unfamiliar territory. Unexpected, Shafeng took out a black stone tablet and communicated with the mansion realm. Boom, a temporary passage appeared, leading to the sky. Kid Tengfeng, be careful, don't be turned into a puppet. I will send you in, if you come out, there is no restriction, you can easily come out with your strength. Shafeng said. Yi Tian nodded, and immediately entered the passage and entered the world of the sky. What Shafeng didn't know was that Yi Tian took the risk of copying his body and brought the original body, so Shafeng didn't know that mansion realm was mixed with a cultivator. Equals 1264 underscore chapter underscore 1264 underscore indestructible underscore soul underscore full underscore order dot txt equals. Chapter 1264 Indestructible Soul. Open black lens bracket full order close black lens bracket. All over the world. Yi Tian entered here and found that there are many treasure places here, but most of the treasure places are useful to the devouring clan, and with the departure of the devouring clan's heavenly domain ancestor, these treasure places are almost deserted. Yi Tian is not a true devourer, but a copy of the devourer, so he has no interest in other treasures, so he went straight to the Soul Stone Monument in the heavenly realm. Soon, he came to the Soul Stone Monument in the heavenly realm. The Soul Stone Monument is 30,000 zhang high and 10,000 zhang wide, and the whole is black and golden. According to Shafeng, the Soul Stone Steel will inhale the spirits of 497, and the inner space of the mixed stone steel contains terrifying special energy. This special energy has great benefits to the soul, but it is also corrosive. If it continues to erode, it will be manipulated by the Soul Stone Tablet and become a puppet of the Soul Stone Tablet. My soul is very tough, and it is not necessarily worse than the soul of the half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, and I have mastered the inheritance of the extreme way. With the inheritance of the extreme way, a mere soul stone tablet can't control my soul at all. Yi Tian said confidently. Of course, there is a more important reason. There is a mysterious copying talent in his soul, so it is unlikely that the soul will be manipulated by foreign objects. Wow, Yi Tian's soul came out of the body, almost no different from the body. In addition to the soul of the main body, the soul of the devouring race in the copy body also came out. After all, if you enter the mansion realm this time, if the soul of the devourer's body does not progress, it will definitely arouse the suspicion of Killing Wind. Therefore, he also let the souls of the devouring race enter the Soul Stone Tablet for tempering. Yi Tian in the soul state easily entered the Soul Stone Tablet and came to the inner space of the Soul Stone Tablet. As soon as he entered this space, countless special soul energies poured in, constantly tempering Yi Tian's soul. This kind of soul energy is pure, but full of aggression, as if to erase Yi Tian's wisdom. Yi Tian sat cross-legged and started to run the soul method in the inheritance of the extreme way, constantly absorbing these soul energies. No matter how terrifying the aggressive energy was, there was no way to erase Yi Tian's wisdom. Sure enough, it's a good place. According to this tempering speed, it won't take long for me to condense my soul into an immortal soul. Yi Tian said excitedly. As time passed, Yi Tian's body soul and the soul of the devouring race were tempered together, blessed by the spiritual method of the ultimate inheritance, and the cultivation was very smooth. In a flash, it is 10,000 years. This day, Yi Tian's body-soul exudes black and golden light, as if the eternal light shines through the ages, full of supreme aura. At the same time, Yi Tian's soul continued to condense and compress, various impurities hidden in the depths of the soul dissipated one after another, and the soul became more and more pure. Unexpected, a black gold rule surrounds Yi Tian's soul, and then completely merges with the soul. This rule is an immortal rule, which means that Yi Tian has condensed into an immortal soul, but it is only an immortal soul realm that has condensed an immortal rule. But even so, Yi Tian's soul is far stronger than in the past, and has met the conditions for promotion to the extreme level. The forbidden body has been tempered to 100% perfection, and the soul has reached the immortal soul. Next, as long as the forbidden power is completely transformed into the power of the forbidden, I can step into the extreme realm of the invincible Taoist level, which can be called the extreme Tao. Ancestor 1. Yi Tian said excitedly. At present, 70% of his forbidden Tao power has been converted into forbidden power, so it will not be too long before he can convert all his forbidden power into forbidden power. This is also the easiest condition to achieve among the three conditions, but it is placed at the end. It's a pity that the soul potential of the devourer is too low, it's only a few times stronger. Yi Tian said regretfully, but this is also very normal. After all, it is a cloned body, and its soul is the same as Tengfang. How much soul potential does an invincible Daozu of the devouring clan have? It's time to leave, and there is no point in 5.8 continuing. This soul stone tablet is of little use to the immortal soul. Yi Tian's soul returned to the body of the outside world. Immediately, the cloned body took Yi Tian's body and left the mansion world. At this time, the killing wind was long gone. However, Yi Tian was still cautious, and only let the body come out when he was approaching the Xuanshu ancient realm with his body. Subsequently, duplicate the body and return to the devouring realm, and the main body returns to the Xuanshu ancient realm, and everything went very smoothly. Equals 1265 underscore chapter underscore 1265 underscore the underscore realm underscore of underscore the underscore extreme underscore way underscore half underscore of underscore the underscore realm underscore seeking underscore full underscore order dot txt equals. Chapter 1265 The realm of the extreme way, half of the realm. Open black lens bracket seeking full order close black lens bracket. After returning to the human world, Yi Tian began to retreat and cultivate with all his strength, striving to convert the taboo power into taboo power as soon as possible. Converting all the forbidden Tao power into forbidden power is just a waste of time and resources. Yi Tian possesses a large number of cultivation-type taboo wonders and taboo treasures, so he is not afraid of resource consumption. 10,000 years and 10,000 years have passed. At the beginning, only 70% of Yi Tian's forbidden Tao power was transformed into forbidden power, but now it is gradually turning towards 80%. After 130,000 years, 80% of Yi Tian's forbidden power has been transformed into forbidden power. After 320,000 years, 85% of the forbidden power has been transformed. After 930,000 years, 90% of the forbidden power has been transformed. After 1.46 million years, 95% of the forbidden power has been transformed. 3 million years have passed. At this time, the ancient world of Xuanshu has changed too much, and it is infinitely close to the ancient world. Moreover, many invincible Taoist ancestors have also been born in the ancient world of Xuanshu. For example, Yi Tian's sons and daughters also entered the invincible Tao ancestor realm. His wife and sister also entered this level, and Haifeng Mountain also gave birth to 29 new half-step ancestors. Even the Zhouzhongtian forces in the ancient world of Xuanshu have been born, such as Tianjianzong, King Kong City, and these old-fashioned Bajongtian forces have also entered the Zhouzhongtian force. They may have fallen for a period of time, but the background is still there, so it is not difficult to impact the power of the nine heavens. The strength of the human race has also become very strong. The most powerful Tao ancestors appeared one by one, and the Tao ancestors were also born in large numbers. In the past, Daozu could still be called the high-level human race, but now the human race is no longer a high level, and only the strongest Taoist can be regarded as a high level. However, the rest of the human race did not become the invincible Taoist ancestors. In this era, it is not difficult to become the supreme Tao ancestor, but it is difficult to attack the invincible Tao ancestor. There are still only a few Supreme Tao ancestors who are qualified to hit the ranks of the Supreme Tao ancestor. What no one knew was that Yi Tian had already faced an important juncture. Forbidden Tao power has already been transformed into forbidden power 90% of the time, and it's only the last point. Yi Tian muttered. Once the last bit of tempering is completed, the power of his whole body is the most pure and forbidden power. At that time, he will really step into the realm of the extreme way, the whole person will undergo huge changes, and will produce a terrifying power of the extreme way. As for the realm of the extreme way, he only understands it from the inheritance of the extreme way, but he has never seen it before. Now, he has finally seen how powerful the realm of the extreme realm is. In the past few days, the last bit of forbidden power has also been transformed into the purest forbidden power. Indestructible soul, the purest forbidden power, 10% forbidden body. At this moment, Yi Tian's spirit, energy, and spirit have all reached the extreme level, and the whole person has reached the extreme level of the invincible Taoist level. Boom! The body, soul, and forbidden power are all changing, and Yi Tian's aura is getting stronger and stronger. After a long time, Yi Tian finally completed the transformation of the extreme realm and officially entered the extreme realm. The human world, the void. Yi Tian stood here, the spirit, energy and spirit in his hands instantly condensed into a trace of power. The appearance of this trace of power made the void tremble, as if a single blow could penetrate the void of the human world. This is the power of the extreme way, it is really powerful, far beyond ordinary power. Yi Tian muttered. Of course, with his current realm, if he wants to use the power of the extreme way for a long time, he can't do it, it will consume a lot of energy. Under normal circumstances, his combat power is now comparable to that of the top half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, and can be called the invincible level of the half-step ancestor of the realm of all things. Half-step domain ancestors fight. It's just a fight, it's definitely not possible to fight for a long time, he exhausts the power of the extreme way, and he can't beat the real half-step domain ancestor of the unified realm. How many half-step ancestors are there in the Daoshan realm? At present, there are 2 known half-step ancestors of the unification realm. There are 2 in Tiandi Palace and 1 in Haifeng Mountain. There may be a few hidden, but they are definitely not many. Moreover, he is now an invincible Taoist ancestor, and he has reached the realm of extreme Taoism. If it is not long before the realm is completely stable, he will try his best to understand some of the mysteries of the ancestors, and then he can hit the realm of half-step ancestors. Once he becomes a half-step ancestor, his strength will inevitably reach the level of the half-step ancestor of the normalization realm, and it is not a weak level but comparable to the powerful half-step ancestor of the normalization realm. Accidentally, I have surpassed the ordinary half-step ancestors and become the real top existence in the ancient world of Xuanshu. Yi Tian muttered. This day, a big event happened in Haifeng Mountain, and Jin Chen Daozu hit the half-step ancestor level of the returning one realm. Originally, Jinchen Daozu was the top half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, and he continued to comprehend the eternal source stone statue, and once again entered the 497-3 refinement void. Therefore, he finally broke the shackles this time and was promoted to the half-step ancestor level of the unification realm. The breakthrough of Jin Chen Daozu means that Haifeng Mountain has 2 half-step ancestors of the reunification realm, which is completely level with the Tiandi Palace. Moreover, the 2 half-step ancestors of the Heavenly Emperor Palace combined can't beat Function Mountain Master. Therefore, the strength of Tiandi Palace is not as good as that of Haifeng Mountain. In addition, Yi Tian is still considered to be a half-level half-step domain ancestor, plus Yi Tian's words, Haifunction completely crushed the Heavenly Emperor Palace. Some more days passed. All the powerhouses above the half-step domain ancestor are dignified, because the Xuanshu ancient world is about to be promoted to the ancient world. The general ancient world is not as good as the domain, but the mysterious ancient world has the potential to be promoted to the taboo world, so from the origin, it is not weaker than the general domain, or even more than a lot. Therefore, once the Xuanji ancient realm is really born, the Devourer clan may invade the Xuanshu ancient realm. But they also hope that Xuanshuji ancient world will be born, so that the cultivation environment will be better, and there will be more opportunities for birth. But they are also afraid of the existence of the Devourer, so they are very entangled. But in any case, the birth of Xuanshu to the ancient world is inevitable. Equals 1266 underscore chapter underscore 1266 underscore to underscore the underscore ancient underscore world underscore tree.txt equals Chapter 1266 to the Ancient World Tree. This day. The promotion of the Xuanxu ancient realm is imminent, and many half-step ancestors have come out of the retreat. The Taoist ancestors of the major sects also ended their retreats and made preparations one by one. They also learned about the situation of the devourer from the above notification, so they were very nervous, for fear that the devourer would come. But once the devourers come, their personal strength is very meager, but if they rely on large formations, they can also compete with the weaker devourers. Of course, it is not them who need to resist the devouring clan in the end, but the ancestors of the half-step domain. Boom! The ancient world of Xuanxu has been promoted, madly swallowing the chaotic vitality in the chaos, and the origin and rules of the entire world are strengthening. The territories expanded, and new territories were born. Countless star continents evolved, and countless stars condensed instantly. Not only that, those taboo void realms have also been injected with the source, and each one has grown a lot, which is undoubtedly a good thing for the forces that control the taboo void realm. After a long time, the Xuanxuji ancient realm was born, dozens of times larger than before. At the same time, in the new frontier just born in the middle of the Xuanxu to the ancient world, a giant tree was born and continues to grow. Soon, this tree surpassed the size of a star and surpassed a starry sky continent. In the end, the tree grew to a size comparable to a Taoist realm, which was enough to shock countless people. This is the tree of the ancient world. 1.5 step ancestors were shocked. Yi Tian also recognized the origin of this tree. It was the legendary tree of the ancient world. According to rumors, where the ancient world was born, there is a 1000th concept that a tree of the ancient world will be born. For example, in the divine heaven realm, there are many to the ancient world, but there is only one to the ancient world tree. The ancient world tree is a type of world tree, but it is not an ordinary world tree. First of all, if you cultivate near the ancient world tree, the cultivation speed is many times faster than before. In addition, the ancient world tree will give birth to a kind of ancient world fruit. If this ancient world fruit is used to open up the world, it can easily open up a Tao world, and it is a Tao world with great potential, which can also be used for tempering the inner world. Let the inner world be promoted to a higher level. However, the biggest use of the ancient world tree is not this, but to use the ancient source lake in the inner space of the ancient world tree to transform the body and create the ancient world body, which is an extremely powerful Tao body. Once condensed to the ancient world body, the future can be regarded as invincible in the flesh, and the combat power surpasses the same level. For the supreme Tao ancestors and the invincible Tao ancestors, if there is no hope for promotion, and the strength is difficult to improve, condensing to the ancient world is undoubtedly a fast way to increase the strength. But there are not many ancient source lakes inside the ancient world tree, and only a few will be born after a long time, and only when they are just born, there will be more. Therefore, there are many people who want to enter the ancient world tree, and the competition is extremely great. Whoa whoa whoa! A strong Taoist ancestor and an invincible Taoist quickly shuttled to the ancient world tree, trying to enter the inner space of the ancient world tree. However, at this moment, a figure stopped all the strongest Taoist ancestors and the invincible Taoist ancestors. This person is impressively a half-step domain ancestor, Qinglong Palace Master. At this time, the Qinglong Palace Master is much stronger than before. He has used all things, stars, sand and many other resources and treasures to temper his body to the realm of all things, so he is regarded as half of the realm of all things and half of the ancestors of the realm. If you want to enter the inner space of the ancient world tree, you need the consent of our heavenly Emperor Palace. Quote, the Master of Qinglong Palace is domineering. Facing the Qinglong Palace Master, those supreme Taoist ancestors and the invincible Taoist ancestors did not dare to move at all, for fear of being killed by the Qinglong Palace Lord. And at this moment, Yi Tian came with a group of human race supreme Tao ancestors. From the inside of the ancient world tree to the ancient source lake, my human race wants 50. Yi Tian said coldly. The master of Qinglong Palace was furious, and could not help but said coldly, Wanfa Daozu, your mere need for 50 places for a human race is too arrogant. Manuo Zhao, go away, you have no right to speak. Yi Tian slapped it to find it. The terrifying power instantly made the Qinglong Palace Master fly upside down and slammed into the ancient realm tree. Can't resist. The Qinglong Palace Master was terrified in his heart. How long has it been since then? Yi Tian's strength has become so much stronger than before. Last time, Yi Tian used the Sky Slaughter Spear to cast a forbidden Dao technique such as Shadow Thorn, but he couldn't hit him hard with a single blow, it just hurt him. But this time, Yi Tian just slapped him and injured him, causing him to be seriously injured. If Yi Tian used the forbidden Dao technique, wouldn't he be able to kill him in seconds? Equals 1267 underscore chapter underscore 1267 underscore the underscore battle underscore for underscore the underscore quota dot txt equals. Chapter 1267 The battle for the quota. Wanfa Daozu, you are going too far. The palace master Shuangui appeared and stopped in front of Yi Tian. After all, the Qinglong Palace Master is not the real ancestor of the half-step domain of the realm of all things. In today's Xuanshu to the ancient world, he can't hold the place at all, but the Qinglong Palace Master is the closest to here, so he came here for the first time to stop the Supreme Daozu and the Invincible Daozu. They entered the inner space of the ancient world tree. Otherwise, a large number of Supreme Dao ancestors and Invincible Dao ancestors would flood in. Where would there be a place for the Heavenly Emperor Palace? At that time, these Supreme Dao ancestors and Invincible Dao ancestors will absorb all the source energy of the ancient source tree, and even if they kill all these Supreme Dao ancestors and Invincible Dao ancestors, it will be useless. Now, the arrival of Shuangui Palace Master, the half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, has only given Qinglong Palace Master a little confidence. And in the view of Palace Master Shuangui, no matter how strong Yi Tian's strength is, he can only be compared to the weaker half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, which is also the limit of the invincible Taoist ancestor. He doesn't think that a mere invincible Taoist ancestor can compete with him. Isn't that nonsense? Palace Master Shuangui, get out of the way. Yi Tian said coldly. Wanfa Daozu, our Tiandi Palace will not let your human race have no quota, but your human race wants to send 50 people all of a sudden. Sorry, this number is too many. 497, you Wanfa Daozu is not qualified to get so many places. If you Blackwind Mountain get 50 places, then I have no problem. The master of the Shuangui Palace said. The Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master of your Tiandi Palace said that I am not qualified, and your Shuangui Palace Master is not qualified to talk to me. 1. Having said that, Yi Tian took out the sky-slaying spear. Today's sky-slaying spear has been tempered by many materials, and it has already entered the half-field device level, and its power has greatly increased. Shadow Thorn, a spear pierced through everything. Although Yi Tian did not use the power of the extreme way, the attack power of this spear also reached the pinnacle of the half-step domain ancestor of the realm of all things. And Shuangui Palace Master is not the top half-step ancestor of the realm of all things. He is only at the middle level in the half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, and his defense has reached a high level. The overall strength is between the half-step ancestor of the realm of all things and high between the ancestors of the half-step domain of all things. Puff! The sky-slaughtering spear penetrated the defense of the mysterious turtle shell of the mysterious turtle palace master, and injured the mysterious turtle palace master with one blow. My defense is pierced. The palace master Shuangui was shocked. His defense definitely belongs to the level of the ancestors of the high realm of all things and the half-step ancestors. But Yi Tian's attack easily penetrated his defense. This is undoubtedly the attack of the top half-step ancestor level of the top realm of all things, and it is the top level among the top. Impossible, you are only in the invincible Dao ancestor realm. How can you display the attack at the top half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things? Shuangui Palace Master was horrified. That's your ignorance. Yi Tian replied. However, due to the obstruction of Shuangui Palace Master, many half-step ancestors of Tiandi Palace and Haifeng Mountain also came one by one. Obviously, they are also very interested in the ancient world tree. On the side of the Tiandi Palace, the Palace Master Lei Jia was the leader, but the Dragon Shadow Palace Master did not come. On the side of Haifeng Mountain, the owner of Function Mountain did not appear, and Jin Chen Daozu led the team. Jinchen Daozu is also a half-step domain ancestor of the normalization realm, so he can compete with the master of the Thunder Tribulation Palace, and does not need the Function Mountain Master to come forward. Although the birth of the ancient world tree is very important, it is not qualified to make the Tiandi Palace and High Function fully dispatched. After the arrival of the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master, he stared at Yi Tian and said, Wanfa Daozu, you want 50 places, it's a bit too much. You have so many half-step domain ancestors in Haifeng Mountain. Each half-step domain ancestor, I'm afraid there are a bunch of powerful Taoist ancestors and invincible Taoist ancestors. Everyone is like you. Don't you want thousands of places in Haifeng Mountain? How many Taoist ancestors can cultivate in the Yuanyuan Lake inside the ancient world tree? CJFI is clear. But I haven't seen any ancient source lake that can supply hundreds of Taoist ancestors at the same time, so it is absolutely impossible to give you 50 places. Let's not talk about the quota issue, let's check the size of Benyuan Lake first. Yi Tian said. Immediately, the consciousness of 1.5-step ancestors entered the inner space of the ancient world tree. Boom! A huge source lake appeared in Yi Tian's consciousness exploration. This Yuanyuan lake is very large, dozens of times larger than the ordinary ancient Yuanyuan lake. This Yuanyuan lake is so big that it can accommodate about 800 people to enter it for cultivation. The Lord of the Thunder Tribulation Palace said. Yes, let's allocate it according to 800 places. No more than half-step domain ancestors are allowed to enter. After all, the ancient world body is not very useful to us, and our half-step domain ancestor's body is much stronger than the ancient world body. Jin Chen Dao Zhu Dao. 800 places. After negotiation, the preliminary result of distribution is that Haifeng Mountain will get 400 places, and Tiandi Palace will get 400 places. But when both parties agreed, Yi Tian said, I don't agree, I think Blackwind Mountain should get 450 places, and Tiandi Palace will get 350 places. The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation was angry and glared at Yi Tian and said, Wanfa Daozu, don't go too far, your Haifeng Mountain's Jinshan Daozu has agreed, what qualifications does an invincible Daozu like you have to oppose? You still want those 50A quota? If you ask for a quota, just ask you Jinshan Daozu to go there, and the 400 quotas in our Tiandi Palace must not be moved. 1. At this time, Jin Chen Daozu also felt that Yi Tian was going too far. More importantly, he was the team leader, he agreed, but Yi Tian still objected, so he kind of ignored his decision. Wanfa Daozu, this is the end of this matter. I agree to divide 30 places for your human race, so that's enough. Jin Chen Daozu Dao. After all, Yi Tian's potential is great, and now he is in the invincible Dao ancestor realm, he has the battle power of the half-step domain ancestor in the realm of everything, and he will definitely become a half-step domain ancestor in the unification realm in the future, so he is not willing to offend the Dao ancestor of 10,000 laws too much. Jin Chen Daozu, I have a lot to do. Yi Tian transmits sound. Swish. Yi Tian shuttled in front of the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master and said, Lay Tribulation Palace Master, let's make a bet, the battle between you and me is limited to 3 minutes. If you lose, High Function promised me 30 places, and I will give you the Heavenly Emperor Palace, how about it? Myriad Dharma Taoist. Jin Chen Daozu was anxious. You are asking for a place, this is giving a place. Equals 1268 underscore chapter underscore 1268 underscore fighting underscore with underscore the underscore unity underscore realm dot txt equals. Chapter 1268 Fighting with the Unity Realm. Really? The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation asked in surprise. He is the ancestor of the half-step domain of the homeland, and Yi Tian is just the invincible Taoist ancestor. Although the combat power is comparable to that of the ancestor of the half-step domain of the realm of all things, no matter how powerful the ancestor of the half-step domain of the realm of all things is, he is not the ancestor of the half-step domain of the homeland. The strength gap between the two sides is too great. If it is just one move, the ancestor of the half-step domain of the realm of all things may be able to catch it. But this time, Yi Tian mainly asked to fight for 3 minutes. 3 minutes is a very long time for the ancestors of the half-step domain in the unified realm, and they don't know how many times they have fought each other in an instant. The half-step domain ancestor of the returning one realm can easily kill the top half-step domain ancestor of the realm of all things within 3 minutes. He didn't understand why Yi Tian did this. Naturally. Yi Tian said, Well, I agree, the Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation said with a smile. Yi Tian insisted on sending 30 places to the Heavenly Emperor Palace. If he did not accept it, he would be stupid. For him, he is 100% victorious. The other side. Jin Chen Daozu was still trying his best to persuade, but Yi Tian didn't explain it at all. Explanation is useless, because Jin Chen Daozu will not believe it at all. Perhaps the gap between 30 places and 50 places is not much, but for the human race, one more place means one more strong person, so each place is very precious. Since he has brought 50 strong human races, he must allow them all to have the opportunity to enter the source lake of the ancient world tree. A piece of uninhabited territory not far from the ancient world tree. Yi Tian confronted the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master, and the two were about to start. Jin Chen Daozu was watching the battle not far away. He had already made up his mind, once Yi Tian was about to fall, he would definitely save Yi Tian. No matter how stupid Yi Tian is, after all, he is the genius with the greatest potential in Haifeng Mountain, and he will definitely become a half-step ancestor in the future, and he is even expected to become the strongest existence under the ancestor. Therefore, he must keep Yi Tian, which is also the order of the Lord of the Wind Mountain. But the thought of the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master was different. He wanted to kill Yi Tian. Yi Tian's potential is too great. The invincible Dao ancestor is comparable to the top all-world realm half-step domain ancestor. What a terrifying potential this is. Even in the realm of the gods, there is no such invincible ancestor. Once Yi Tian continued to grow, the Heavenly Emperor Palace would have a hard time living under Yi Tian's suppression. Before, the half-step ancestors of High Function had been protecting Yi Tian, and even the Lord of Function Mountain came forward to stop the Dragon Shadow Palace Lord, so the Heavenly Emperor Palace had no chance to kill Yi Tian at all. This time is different. He can fight with Yi Tian upright and bright. Once his speed is fast enough, it is enough to kill Yi Tian instantly, making Jin Chen Daozu too late to rescue. Go ahead, Yi Tian said. The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation took out his new weapon, Thunder Tribulation Sword. This is the latest half-domain device built by the Tiandi Palace. The main material is the skeleton of the Dark-Winged Dapeng Eagle, and many rare materials are added to finally create this half-domain device, and it is a relatively good half-domain device. It's a pity that the Heavenly Emperor Palace doesn't have top-notch half-area artifact level refiners, otherwise these materials are enough to create the top half-area artifact. But for Yi Tian, such a weapon is good enough. Thunderbolt. The Palace Master of the Thunder Tribulation took action instantly, and as soon as he did it, he used all his strength to cast his famous Forbidden Dao technique, Thunderbolt. When he did not become the ancestor of the half-step domain of the reunification realm, his Thunderbolt was only a small achievement, but after entering the gate of Shitong, he finally cultivated Thunderbolt to a great level under the long years of hard work. The Dacheng level Forbidden Dao technique Thunderbolt plus the half-field device Thunder Tribulation Sword, plus the power of his half-step field ancestor in the reunification realm. The power of this sword is terrifying, reaching an unbelievable level. Even the ordinary half-step ancestor of the normalization realm would not dare to say that he would be unscathed under such an attack. Facing this sword, Yi Tian no longer hides his strength. Hunyuan Holy Body, Extreme Power, Dark Coal Dao Spear. Yi Tian stabbed fiercely with the Dark Coal Spear and collided with the Thunderbolt strike. How terrifying the power of the Extreme Path is, and Yi Tian's Dark Extreme Path Spear has also cultivated to the peak of Dacheng, which is only one step away from the perfect state. At this moment, his attack power has reached the full-strength strike of the half-step domain ancestor of the reunification realm, which is not weaker than the full-strength strike of the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master. Boom! Ask for flowers. The two collided and each flew backwards. This scene completely shocked everyone, even Jin Chen Daozu. How can this happen? The attack power of the ancestors of the Wanfa Dao has reached the level of the half-step ancestors of the normalization realm. Jin Chen Daozu couldn't believe it. This is simply breaking the rules. Can invincible Daozu be so powerful? The other invincible Dao ancestors of Tiandi Palace and Haifeng Mountain were dumbfounded. They were both invincible Dao patriarchs. Their strength was like ants compared to Yi Tian. How can there be such a big gap between people? Boom boom boom. Yi Tian and the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master kept fighting, and he who exerted the power of the extreme way was a half-step ancestor of the returning one realm. Even if it could not last, there was no problem in persisting for 3 minutes. As time passed, the Palace Master Lei Jia became more and more shocked. At the beginning, he thought that Yi Tian was only relying on some special means to perform a full-strength attack comparable to the half-step domain ancestor of the unification realm. But now, Yi Tian used that method again and again. This is not a special method, but a conventional method. No matter how Yi Tian did it, if he was able to fight with a half-step ancestor of the homeland for a long time, that would be a half-step ancestor of the homeland, and everyone agreed. Soon, 3 minutes passed. Yi Tian was separated from the Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation, and neither of them could do anything to each other. But the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master consumes little, while Yi Tian consumes a lot. If he fights for a few more minutes, he will not be able to hold on, his strength will be greatly reduced, and even the combat power of the top half-step ancestor of the realm of all things will be maintained. Not anymore. At this time, the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master was in a very bad mood. The things that I thought were 10 to 10 were sure, but now they have gone wrong. This time, Tiandi Palace not only did not get Yi Tian's 30 places, but also lost 50 places, leaving only 350 places. Fortunately, he is the only half-step ancestor of the Heavenly Emperor Palace, whose status is the same as that of Longying. The palace master is quite equal, so no one dares to punish him. But he was very angry in his heart, but he was embarrassed to go back. After all, he is the condition that he agreed to in front of everyone's eyes. If he goes back on it, not only will the Heavenly Emperor Palace lose face, but its credibility will also be completely lost. G equals 1269 underscore chapter underscore 1269 underscore devouring underscore tribe underscore meeting dot txt equals. Chapter 1269 Devouring Tribe Meeting. Another reason why the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master did not dare to go back was the strength of Haifeng Mountain, which was really powerful, even stronger than their Heavenly Emperor Palace. Not to mention the extremely mysterious Function Mountain Master, Yi Tian and Jin Chen Daozu alone are the two great half-step ancestors fighting strength in the reunification realm. And the Heavenly Emperor Palace has only two half-step ancestors of the Homecoming realm, and neither of them are the opponents of the Function Mountain Master. If they go back and fight with High Function, the Heavenly Emperor Palace will be at a disadvantage. Moreover, there are only 50 places to go to the ancient Yuanyuan Lake, and it is not a huge opportunity, so if you let it go, you will let it go. Okay, I'll give you 50 places. The Palace Master Lei Jia agreed. Ha ha ha, thank you, Palace Master Lei Jia. Yi Tian is very happy. Then, Yi Tian flew to the half-step ancestors of Haifeng Mountain. At this time, the eyes of these half-step ancestors seeing, 497, Yi Tian are completely different, and all of them have adoring eyes. In particular, Daozu Jin Chen had a different idea of Yi Tian. Before, Yi Tian possessed the half-step ancestral power of the Myriad Realm, but having the half-step ancestral power of the Unification Realm was two different concepts. Once Yi Tian breaks through to the half-step domain ancestor level, how terrifying the combat power is, he is definitely stronger than him. Wanfa Daozu, your strength is too powerful, and you have the half-step field ancestor combat power in the invincible Daozu realm. Jin Chen Daozu exclaimed, my strength is not strong enough, and I need to continue to improve. Yi Tian said modestly, need to continue to improve. Jin Chen Daozu was really hit. At his level, it is very difficult to continue to improve, although as long as there is a long period of time, he can be promoted to the ultimate level of the half-step domain ancestor of the Unification Realm, and even to the level of the domain ancestor in the infinite future. But those years were too long, so long that he didn't necessarily have the confidence not to have an accident in the middle, and he might die in a certain battle. Therefore, he really did not pursue much to improve his strength. So, listening to Yi Tian's words, he was very shocked. Let the Supreme Taoist Ancestors and the Invincible Taoist Ancestors enter Zhigu Yuanyuan Lake. Jin Chen Dao Zhu Dao. Immediately, the 50 Supreme Tao ancestors of the human race entered the Yuanyuan Lake inside the ancient world tree together with some Supreme Tao ancestors and Invincible Tao ancestors of Haifeng Mountain, and the Supreme Tao ancestors and Invincible Tao ancestors of the Heavenly Emperor Palace also entered. As for the Supreme Tao ancestors and Invincible Tao ancestors of other forces, they are not eligible to enter, unless they can compete with the half-step domain ancestors of the Heavenly Emperor Palace and Haifeng Mountain. But they couldn't compete, so they couldn't compete for this opportunity. Certainly, they can also practice nearby, with the effect of increasing the ancient world tree. If they practice here, they will practice much faster than in other places. The only pity is that the ancient realm fruit of the ancient realm tree has not yet been born, otherwise they would have the opportunity to snatch the ancient realm fruit. Time passed by one, the strongest Tao ancestors and the invincible Tao ancestors successfully condensed into the ancient realm body in the Yuanyuan Lake inside the ancient realm tree, and their strength increased greatly, and then came out from inside the ancient realm tree. About 3 years have passed since all the Supreme Tao ancestors and Invincible Tao ancestors have come out, and there is only a little bit of the source energy left in the ancient origin lake, and there are still about a dozen people left to condense to the ancient world. Heavenly Emperor Palace and Haifeng Mountain also disliked this source energy, so they gave it to other forces. As for the other forces who can snatch these source energy, they don't worry about it. Devour the world. Yi Tian's copy body still cares about Tengfeng's identity and is working as a spy here. He usually sleeps and doesn't run around, so as not to be suspected by other devouring races. This day, a message came that all the devouring clan must go to a meeting, which was an order issued by the adults at the top of the devouring clan. The devouring temple in the center of the devouring world. A devouring clan came here, and about 160 engulfing clans gathered here, and Yi Tian, an invincible Dao ancestor-level phagocytic clan, was not a high-ranking clan here, so he could only sit in a corner. Unexpected. 4 tall devours descended one by one. These 4 people are the half-step ancestors of the phagocytic clan, and they are not the first to enter the half-step ancestors but the top ones. Half-step domain ancestor. Of course, they are not necessarily stronger than the Dragon Shadow Palace Master, because their fighting methods are relatively simple, but their cultivation base is strong, and their combat power is not strong. But the 4 half-step ancestors of the homeland are also very terrifying, and together with the 20 or so half-step ancestors of the realm of all things, it is enough to see how terrifying the strength of the devouring clan is. Moreover, this is not necessarily all the devouring clan's combat power, in case there are some powerful half-step domain ancestors or a domain ancestor hidden in the normalization realm. The 4 devouring clan of the returning one realm are called Emperor ancestors in the devouring clan. They are Bailu Emperor Zhu, Blood Emperor ancestor, Zan Emperor ancestor and Wanjun Emperor ancestor respectively. The status of the 4 great ancestors is very fast in the devouring clan, because they are the most powerful now, and other devouring clan naturally dare not be enemies with these 4 devouring clan, otherwise if they kill them, they will also be killed. After all, the devouring clans are in a competitive relationship with each other, but the world that the 4 great emperors need to devour is relatively advanced, and the ordinary universe in the world, they just don't look down on it, otherwise, where would they keep their clansmen? Seeing that the clansmen were almost here, Bailu Emperor ancestor said, "Everyone, the mysterious ancient realm in the realm was born, and its origin is not weaker than the realm. Once it swallows this mysterious ancient realm, we will the 4 devouring races of the unification realm may become the ancestors of the domain. We promise that the world from the mysterious to the ancient world will be given to you to devour, and our 4 emperors will only devour the origin of the mysterious to the ancient world. There are still a large number of worlds, universes and chaos continents in it, so it is enough for you to devour. Emperor, do you want to start the Xuanxu to the ancient world now? Do you want them to continue to develop?" Killing Wind opened 5.8 lines. Don't let them continue to develop. If their strength is many times stronger, we will have a hard time. Taking advantage of their strength is not strong, we will start to be strong first. It's a big deal not to kill them all, but to kill the top beings. Let the remaining practitioners let go, let them continue to create the Taoist realm in the realm, and serve us forever. Blood Emperor ancestor smiled cruelly. Yi Tian looked at this scene and felt very funny. These devouring races don't investigate and investigate now. The Xuanxu Zhigu realm now has more than 4 half-step ancestors of the unification realm. If they attack the Xuanxu realm, I am afraid they will suffer heavy losses. Of course, the loss to the ancient world must be huge. As for who wins and who loses, it's hard to say. But only at the half-step domain ancestor level, Xuanxu to the ancient world is at a disadvantage. Equals 1270 underscore chapter underscore 1270 underscore on underscore the underscore 10th underscore day underscore the underscore devouring underscore clan underscore descends.txt equals. Chapter 1270 on the 10th day, the devouring clan descends. If you give Xuanxu to the ancient world some more time, then Xuanxu to the ancient world can give birth to some half-step ancestors, and even give birth to a half-step ancestor of the unified realm, then it will be much easier to deal with the devouring clan. Yi Tian thought to himself. Unfortunately, the devourers can't wait. And the phagocytic clan he copied and occupied had no identity, and the other engulfing clan would not listen to his arrangements and suggestions. If he dared to talk nonsense, he would definitely be killed. 10 days later, we will go to attack Xuanxu to the ancient world. Everyone must go. If anyone doesn't go, our 4 great emperors will kill anyone. The war emperor threatened. He can't do it without threats, because some devourers like to live a sneaky life and are unwilling to prove the battle. If all the devouring clan thought this way, how could they attack the Xuanxu to the ancient world? Yes, one by one the devouring clan responded, and no one dared not agree. 29. The plan was drawn up, and the devouring race left one by one and went back to prepare. After 10 days, they set off. Mysterious to the ancient world. Yi Tian's body naturally knew the trend of the devouring clan for the first time, and immediately frowned. Immediately, he sent a message to the half-step ancestors of Haifeng Mountain, held a meeting, and notified Function Mountain Master and Jinshan Daozu. Wind Mountain. A half-step domain ancestor came here, and almost all the half-step domain ancestors of Haifeng Mountain arrived. Wanfa Daozu, what's the matter with you calling us? Wanfa Daozu, did something big happen? Wanfa Daozu, we have already come, if you have anything to say, hurry up. After 1.5 step ancestors arrived, they asked one by one. Seeing that the people were almost here, Yi Tian opened his mouth and said, everyone, the devouring clan is coming to attack our Xuanshu to the ancient world. Really? Jin Chen Daozu asked quickly. It's true, the news is 100% correct, and as for the source, you don't need to overdo it. Yi Tian said. He couldn't say the source of the information, and he couldn't say that he could copy any creature's body, as long as the other party's realm did not exceed his own. With that said, is it worth it? Everyone has to be in danger, even afraid of him. Because he can become someone else at any time, such a threat is too great, maybe other half-step ancestors will resist him. The half-step ancestors of Haifeng Mountain asked one by one whether the news was true, but Yi Tian only answered affirmatively but never revealed the source. At last, Yi Tian said, after 10 days, you will know, prepare in advance, there is no harm, isn't it? Numerous half-step ancestors nodded their heads. There is no harm in preparing in advance. Even if the news is false, they have nothing to lose. Subsequently, Haifengtian disclosed the news to the Heavenly Emperor Palace and many forces from Xuanshu to the ancient realm. As a result, one by one forces began to prepare. In fact, most of the forces have already made preparations, and in the event of a change, they will apply those preparations at any time. So now, they're just more prepared. In addition to the half-step ancestors, the invincible Dao ancestors united one by one, preparing to control the large formation to compete with the half-step ancestors of the devouring clan, while the supreme Dao ancestors united to fight against the invincible Dao ancestors of the devouring clan. As for the 7th heavenly Dao ancestor and the weaker Dao ancestors, they can't help at all. The only thing that can be done is to hide and not be affected. On the other hand, Yi Tian did not place his relatives in the human world, but in the territory of the human race in the outside world. Because the devourer only devours the world, and the human world is also one of the worlds, it is even more dangerous to place it in the human world. It is safer to place them on the stars in the territory of Xuanshu to the ancient world, because the devouring clan has no interest in these stars and will not attack them. This time, Yi Tian was a bit selfish, he didn't let his wife, sister and a pair of sons and daughters participate in the battle. With his current status, even if he did, Haifengtian wouldn't say anything. Although Yi Xingqian and Yi Xingyu really wanted to fight, Yi Tian knew very well that the half-step ancestors would fall at any time, and the invincible Daozu had no hope of saving his life. Time passes day by day, and 10 days will come soon. 10th day. One by one, the ancestors of the half-step domain concealed their figures, hiding in the chaotic void beyond the Xuanshu to the ancient world. If the devouring race really comes, they are going to put the battlefield in the chaotic void, rather than the mysterious and ancient world. After all, if so many half-step ancestors fought in the Xuanshu to the ancient world, it would cause huge damage to the Xuanshu to the ancient world. If they really can't resist, they will definitely withdraw to the ancient world, and fight with the devouring race in the ancient world, which is also impossible. As time passed, the ancestors of the half-step domain were a little nervous, and the invincible ancestors were even more nervous. Once the war begins, it will not be a petty fight, but a real life and death struggle. I don't know how many invincible Dao ancestors, the strongest Dao ancestors have fallen, and even the half-step ancestors will fall. For many Taoist ancestors, they hoped that the information this time was false. 497. 10 days passed, and half a day passed. At this time, the void in the distance was turbulent, and one after another appeared. The devourer, here we come. Jin Chen Daozu said. This is enough to prove that the information is correct, the devouring clan really came to invade the Xuanshu to the ancient world. I didn't expect Wanfa Daozu's information to be true. Jin Chen Daozu was very surprised. No matter how he thought about it, he could not guess how the information was obtained. He knew that Yi Tian had a clone, but even if the clone went to devour the world and died, there was no way to obtain information. After all, those devouring clans are also intelligent races, so they would not be so stupid to reveal information to Yi Tian. Moreover, the devouring clan has a half-step domain ancestor of the reunification realm, and it is even more nonsense to sneak in and eavesdrop on the plan. Therefore, he could not think of any way Yi Tian obtained the information. Jin Chen Daozu didn't think much about it, the war was the most important thing at this moment. If you can't defeat the devouring clan, the ancient realm of Xuanxu will not exist, and the small realm of Haifeng Mountain will not exist. At that time, the foundation of Black Wind Mountain will definitely be gone. Mountain Master, the devouring clan has arrived. Jinchen Daozu sent a message to Function Mountain Master. Okay, I get it. Function Mountain Master sent a message. Immediately, a figure ripped apart the space and descended. It was the Lord of Function Mountain. Equals 1271 underscore chapter underscore 1271 underscore kill underscore the underscore ancestors underscore of underscore the underscore half step underscore domain underscore of underscore the underscore realm underscore of underscore all underscore things dot txt equals. Chapter 1271 Kill the ancestors of the half-step domain of the realm of all things. The arrival of the Lord of Function Mountain represents the arrival of all the combat power of High Function. And the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master of the Tiandi Palace also came. After all, they were facing the devouring clan, and they did not dare to slack. Once the Xuanxu reaches the ancient world and is swallowed up, the swallowing clan will probably give birth to one or more domain ancestors. Even if a domain ancestor is born, they can't compete. Therefore, they must fight with the devouring clan with all their strength, so that the devouring clan will not have the opportunity to swallow the mysterious void to the ancient realm. Soon, the devourers are coming. At this time, many half-step ancestors from the Xuanxu to the ancient world, as well as a large number of invincible Taoist ancestors, the strongest Taoist ancestors appeared one after another, blocking the devouring clan in the chaotic void outside the Xuanxu to the ancient world. The practitioners in the ancient world of Xuanxu reacted so quickly, it seems that they were already prepared. The Blood Emperor was very curious. Of course, he didn't think too much. In his opinion, the cultivators were probably already preparing, and they didn't know what special method to use to detect their arrival, so they came out to intercept them as soon as possible. However, what surprised him was that the power of Xuanxu to the ancient world was very strong, which was different from the weak practitioners he expected. The Blood Emperor Ancestor, be careful, I found 4 half-step ancestors of the returning one realm. Emperor Beilu reminded. I saw. Blood Emperor Ancestor whispered. This time, they underestimated these practitioners from the Xuanxu to the ancient world. If they knew this, they would let those devourers devour the universe, Tao world and chaos continent in the Daoshan boundary in large quantities, so that they can cultivate a large number of half-steps. Domain Ancestor. In this way, their strength far exceeds the half-step ancestors of the ancient world. But it doesn't matter, the number of their half-step ancestors is still a lot more than Xuanxu to the ancient world, so they still have the advantage. Kill them, and then rush into the Xuanxu to the ancient world. The Blood Emperor Ancestor ordered. Boom, the devourers attacked, and the two sides began to fight. Function Mountain Master, Jinchen Daozu, Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master faced the 4 half-step ancestors of the devouring clan. After all, Jinchen Daozu, Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master have only broken through to the half-step domain ancestor of the reunification realm. Among them, Dragon Shadow Palace Master is the strongest, and only slightly stronger than the 4 emperors. Kill the devouring clan of the Unity realm. On the other hand, Jin Chen Daozu and Lei Jia Palace Master are relatively weak, and they can't beat the Emperor Ancestor of the devouring clan at all, so they can only barely compete. The only one with a huge advantage was the Mountain Master Function, who easily crushed the Emperor Beilu. The half-step ancestor of the limit of the unification realm among practitioners. Emperor Beilu was shocked. This half-step domain ancestor of the normalization realm is too powerful. From the perspective of realm, he is also the limit of the normalization realm, but the combat power is too far from the master of Function Mountain. In the last civilization era, there were also half-step ancestors who were at the limit of the oneness, but at that time they were 5 or 6 half-step ancestors who joined forces to besiege the half-step ancestor of the one. And at this moment, he was alone against the Mountain Master Function, and the pressure was huge. Soon, he was seriously injured. No, if it goes on like this, I will fall and die. Beilu Emperor Ancestral Road. After the 4 emperors, he is the oldest, the strongest, and the deepest. The devouring clan also has treasures and trump cards. For example, he once traded a treasure with a domain ancestor of the devouring clan, which could enhance the fighting power of the devouring clan, but it was a one-time consumption of the treasure. That treasure contains the power of the domain ancestor level swallowing clan. Once it is stimulated, his strength will skyrocket, and he has a part of the power of the domain ancestor, which is enough to compete with and even kill the half-step domain ancestor at the ultimate level of reunification. It doesn't matter, I have to use it. Once I win this war, I will have the opportunity to be promoted to the ancestor of the domain. 1. Emperor Belu thought to himself. Boom! A crown appeared on the top of Belu Emperor Ancestor's head, and the coercion belonging to the domain ancestor appeared. The treasure left by the ancestors. Function Mountain Master was a little surprised, but he didn't panic. No matter how strong you are not my opponent. The main road of Function Mountain. In the next moment, the Lord of Function Mountain casts a forbidden Taoist technique, wind cutting. Puff! The light of the wind blade ripped apart the void, and with a single blow, it slashed towards the White Deer Ancestor, directly cutting through the body of the White Deer Emperor Ancestor. This forbidden Tao technique has reached the limit level impressively, and its formidable power vaguely surpassed the limit of the half-step domain ancestor of the unified realm, and at least possessed the attack power of 3% domain ancestors. Therefore, Belu Emperor Ancestor could not stop it, and was hit hard at once. But at this time, the crown exuded a white light, which healed the injury of Belu Emperor Ancestor. It seems to be in a protracted war. Function Mountain Master murmured. The other side. Yi Tian fought with 3 half-step ancestors of the realm of all things, because there are only a dozen half-step ancestors of the realm of all things in the ancient world, and there are as many as 26 ancestors of the half-step realm of the Swallowing Clan. Originally, when the Devouring Clan first appeared, there were only 22 people, but over the years, the Devouring Clan has been devouring the Tao realm and the universe, and as a result, several half-step ancestors of the realm of all things have been born. 10 to 26, the strength is not equal at all. Therefore, Yi Tian picked 3 realm half-step ancestors. At this moment, he has not used Manuo Jiao, the power of the extreme way, just to paralyze the opponent, so as to find the opportunity to kill with one hit. Time passed by little, these 3 ancestors of the realm of all things were not lightly injured under the attack of Yi Tian. After all, Yi Tian was also in the top half-step realm of the realm of all things without using the power of the extreme way. Ancestor, these 3 devours are naturally not opponents. Unexpected, Yi Tian used a bit of the power of the extreme way, cast the dark extreme way spear, and slammed through one of the half-step ancestors of the realm of all things. Suddenly, the origin of this half-step ancestor of the realm of all things collapsed and shattered to death. The first half-step ancestor of the realm of all things has fallen. Seeing this scene, the other half-step ancestors from Xuanshu to the ancient world were extremely excited, as if they saw the hope of victory. It has to be said that Yi Tian's strength is too terrifying, equivalent to a half-step ancestor of the normalization realm, and others have no way to compete. Equals 1272 underscore chapter underscore 1272 underscore frost underscore sky underscore emperor underscore ancestor dot txt equals. Chapter 1272 Frost Sky Emperor Ancestor. Wow! The Devourer tribe witnessed Yi Tian's terrifying strength, and immediately dispatched 3 half-step ancestors of the realm of all things, and a total of 5 ancestors of the realm of all things half-step to besiege Yi Tian. However, this is not enough. In a short while, the Devouring Clan sent a half-step domain ancestor of the Myriad Realm again, and a total of 6 half-step domain ancestors of the Myriad Realm fought against Yi Tian. In the battle at the half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things, the side from Xuanshu to the ancient world is not considered weak, at least if Yi Tian is there, he can still control a bit of the initiative. But at the ordinary half-step domain ancestor level, Xuanshu is completely at a disadvantage when it reaches the ancient world, and even the invincible Taoist ancestors are required to form a large formation to compete with a half-step domain ancestor level Devouring Clan. After all, the Devouring Clan now has nearly 100 half-step ancestors, and there are only a few half-step ancestors in the Xuanshu to the ancient world, and the Tiandi Palace and Haifeng Mountain add up to more than 30. Therefore, the common half-step domain ancestor level is not at the same level at all. The number of half-step ancestors in the Xuanshu to the ancient world is insufficient, and the invincible Tao ancestor level can only be used to supplement the combat power. On a battlefield, a Swallowing Clan at the half-step domain ancestor level fought with the battle formation composed of 6 invincible Taoist ancestors. After a while, the 6 invincible Taoist ancestors couldn't hold on any longer, and they were directly blown up and died on the spot. In addition to the invincible Tao ancestors, the number of Supreme Tao ancestors has fallen, and some Supreme Tao ancestors have joined together to form a large formation of thousands of people to resist the half-step domain ancestor, which can only last for a while. As a result, a large number of Supreme Tao ancestors and invincible Tao ancestors have fallen, and the entire chaotic void is full of Tao ancestors' corpses. And the invincible ancestors of the devouring clan also fell one by one. They are not strong enough, and there is no human touch between the devouring clan. Even if the other devouring clan are in danger, they will not take the risk to rescue them. Therefore, the invincible ancestors of the devouring clan will fall one by one. In terms of loss, the loss from Xuanxu to the ancient world is even greater. Yi Tian's battlefield, he once again made a full effort. If he hides his strength again, there will be a large number of Supreme Tao ancestors and invincible Tao ancestors falling. The power of the extreme way has exploded. Yi Tian exerted the power of the extreme way, and one strike penetrated the body of another half-step ancestor of the realm of all things. Then, Yi Tian started to kill again, and in a short period of time, he beheaded 3 devouring clans at the half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things, shocking the audience. The devourers didn't expect Yi Tian's strength to be so terrifying, breaking their cognition unexpectedly. After all, Yi Tian's realm is also invincible Tao ancestor level. He can burst out the battle power of the half-step ancestors in the realm of all things, which is already incomparable against the sky, the person. In a short period of time, the devouring clan lost 4 ancestors of the realm of all things, which was a huge loss for the devouring clan. Beilu Emperor Ancestor, the people of the myriad realm have suffered heavy losses, and we have been restrained. If this goes on, although the Taoist ancestors who have reached the ancient world will suffer heavy casualties, we will also suffer heavy losses from the devouring clan. The number of our clan is small, and we will die. One is a huge loss. The Blood Emperor sent a message to the Beilu Emperor, saying. Beilu Emperor Ancestor was also very anxious. He thought it would not be difficult to devour Xuanxu to the ancient world, but he never expected that it would be a hard bone to chew, and it even broke their teeth. According to this trend, they have no way to swallow Xuanxu to the ancient world. Wake up the Emperor Shuangtian. Beilu Emperor Ancestor transmitted his voice to the other 3 Emperor Ancestors. What? Wake up that guy Shuangtian, he's a lunatic. The Blood Emperor Ancestor was shocked. Although he is also relatively crazy, he is far less crazy than that fellow Shuangtian Emperor Zhu. That guy devoured the unhappy clansmen as soon as he disagreed, and even provoked the domain ancestors in the clan, so he was suppressed by the domain ancestors and sealed in the swallowing world, and their 4 emperors were responsible for guarding the Frost Emperor ancestors. It has to be said that Emperor Shuangtian is very strong, even stronger than Emperor Beilu. Because Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor is almost an outlier, not only a devourer, but also very talented in cultivation, and has also comprehended the taboo Dao and the forbidden Dao technique, and the combat power is far superior to the ordinary half-step domain ancestor devourer of the normalization realm. Therefore, once the Frost Heaven Emperor Ancestor arrives, the devouring clan will be able to win. Of course, once Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor was born, their life would be difficult, and no one wanted to live with such a lunatic. What about the lunatics? Once we take the Xuanxu to the ancient world, we can be promoted to the domain ancestors. The domain ancestors left us a roadmap, and we can completely leave this domain and go to the depths of the dark forbidden domain. In pursuit of a higher realm, there is no need to stay with that fellow Shuangtian Emperor Zhu. Beilu Emperor Ancestral Road. Right, the other 3 emperors agreed. Devour the world. In a dark void, the 4 great ancestors left a trace of their origin here, and these origin incarnations turned into 4 incarnations at this moment. Open the seal. Beilu Emperor Ancestor opened the mouth and said. Immediately, the incarnations of the 4 emperors and ancestors worked together to open the seal. Crack. The void shattered, and a figure came out from the endless chaos of time and space. This person is the Emperor Shuangtian. White Deer, Blood, War, Wanjun, the 4 of you have actually lifted the seal. Are you not afraid that the ancestors of the domain will blame you? Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor wondered. Shuangtian Emperor Zhu, the domain ancestors have left this realm. Now a new civilization has been born in this realm, and a very powerful world has also been born. Once that world is swallowed, we can be promoted to domain ancestors. But the practitioners in that world are very powerful, although we have the advantage, but they have an extra half-step ancestor combat power in the normalization realm, so in terms of high-end power, we are somewhat weaker. Beilu Emperor Ancestral Road. So, you release me to help you. Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor said with a smile. Yes, it's a good thing for you, and there are a lot of cultivators here enough for you to kill. Beilu Emperor Yu and Xiao Shuangtianmu's temperament, so they said that there are a lot of cultivators here. As predicted, when Emperor Shuangtian heard this, his expression changed and he said, okay, I'll go right now, where is the location? After Beilu Emperor Ancestor said the location, he urged Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor to come over quickly. But at this moment, the Emperor Shuangtian waved his hand and directly shocked the incarnations of the 4 great emperors to death. Hey, you have guarded me for so long, it's not too much for me to kill your incarnations, right? Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor sneered. Equals 1273 underscore chapter underscore 1273 underscore another underscore half step underscore ancestor underscore of underscore the underscore reunification underscore realm dot txt equals Chapter 1273 Another half-step ancestor of the reunification realm. Damn, the Emperor Shuangtian killed our avatar. Ancestor Beilu said angrily. The other 3 emperors were also very annoyed. Although the incarnation was killed, it had little effect on them. After all, the incarnation had no power. But this is a provocation for them, whoever incarnates and gets killed will be unhappy. If it wasn't for Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor's strength stronger than them, and they needed the help of Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor, otherwise they would definitely be at odds with Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor. Wait, when the Emperor Shuangtian arrives, we must kill this group of practitioners, a group of food dares to resist us. Beilu Emperor Ancestor said in a cold voice. With the passage of time, the ancestors of the half-step domain of the devouring clan all died under Yi Tian's heaven-slaying spear. For such a long time, he has already killed 7 half-step ancestors of the realm of all things, directly reducing the half-step ancestors of the swallowing clan to 19, but it is still more than half-step from the mysterious world to the ancient world. Domain ancestor, a few more. With Yi Tian alone, the pressure on the ancestors of the realm of all things has dropped sharply. Once Yi Tian kills a few more half-step ancestors of the realm of all things, the swallowing clan will collapse, and when the half-step ancestors of the realm of all things in the mysterious world come to the sky, they can quickly kill the other ordinary members of the swallowing clan. Half-step domain ancestor. At that time, victory will belong to the ancient world. After Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor left the devouring realm, he rushed to Xuanshu to the ancient realm at the fastest speed. However, the Daoshan realm is a realm after all, and the area is too large. No matter how fast the Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor is, it will take time to reach the battlefield. Finally, Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor arrived, only to find that the devouring clan was at a disadvantage at this moment. A group of trash, they know how to swallow, and they can't even comprehend the taboo way, no wonder they can't beat the cultivators at the same level. Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor said sarcastically. Wow. He tore through the void and came to the battlefield, and with a single blow, he blew up 1,000-strong Dao Ancestor battle formation, and the thousands of Supreme Dao Ancestors instantly fell and died. This is undoubtedly a huge loss for Xuanshu to the ancient world. Not good, there is the devouring clan of the Unity Realm coming. The expressions of the ancestors of the half-step domain changed drastically. Even the Dragon Shadow Palace Master's expression changed drastically. They thought that the devouring clan were only 4 ancestors of the half-step domain of the homeland, but they did not expect another half-step ancestor of the homeland. I'll stop him. Yi Tian abandoned the few half-step ancestors of the realm of all things, rushed to Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor, and fought with Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor. However, bang, Yi Tian flew hundreds of millions of miles upside down, his body was constantly cracked, and his injuries were not minor. The top half-step ancestor of the unification realm. Yi Tian's expression changed drastically. Moreover, the other party has just used the Forbidden Dao technique. There is no doubt that this is a half-step ancestor who has successfully cultivated and is far superior to other half-step ancestors in the homeland. After he exerted the power of the extreme way, his strength was barely able to compete with the ordinary half-step ancestor of the normalization realm. Naturally, he was far from the opponent of the ancestor of the emperor. After Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor shot Yi Tian, he did not chase Yi Tian, because killing Yi Tian was a bit laborious. He directly found an ordinary half-step ancestor, and that ordinary half-step ancestor was a palace master of the Tiandi Palace. Boom! Under the blow of Emperor Shuangtian, he directly killed the palace master of Tiandi Palace. Ha ha ha, comfortable, Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor laughed. He just likes the feeling of killing the weak, killing one at a time, it's so comfortable. Soon, a half-step ancestor of Haifeng Mountain was killed. At this moment, Eternal Tao Ancestor was targeted. At this moment, Eternal Tao Ancestor felt cold all over, and his soul seemed to be frozen. He is just an ordinary half-step domain ancestor, perhaps a high-ranking one among ordinary half-step domain ancestors, but even the half-step domain ancestor of the realm of everything is far from being an opponent of the Shuangtian Emperor ancestor, let alone him. He trespassed the way of time, but time seemed to be frozen at this moment, and it didn't work at all. Am I going to die? Eternal Taoist thought. However, just when Emperor Shuangtian was about to kill Eternal Tao Ancestor, Yi Tian took action. Break. The Shadow Thorn came with one blow, ignoring the distance, and directly attacked the eyebrows of Emperor Shuangtian. Click. There was a crack between the eyebrows of Emperor Shuangtian, and a trace of blood seeped out. But for the half-step ancestors of the normalization realm, this is not an injury. Little bug, you are courting death. Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor was angry and killed Yi Tian, but Eternal Tao Ancestor survived. Ask for flowers. Wanfa Daozu, thank you. 1. Eternal Tao Ancestor was grateful. Bang bang bang. Yi Tian is not a hand at all, he is completely beaten, but relying on the extreme way, he can reach the holy body, and he can persist for as long as he is quickly killed. Dash. The Mountain Master Function wanted to rescue Yi Tian, but Emperor Bailu tried his best to stop him, so he had no chance to rescue Yi Tian. As time passed, Yi Tian's situation was very dangerous. Unfortunately, my cloned body was disbanded before, and it is too late to use the time again. Otherwise, the two bodies will be able to hold on to this emperor for a long time. Yi Tian secretly said in his heart. At this moment, the voice of Function Mountain Lord spread throughout the entire battlefield and the surrounding territories. You still haven't come out to help. If Xuanshu to the ancient world is defeated, you will not benefit. The main road of Function Mountain. Hearing this, the devouring clan was shocked. Could it be that there are still strong people in the ancient world? And the half-step ancestors of the Xuanshu to the ancient world were overjoyed. If there was still a helping hand, their pressure would be relieved a lot. Hee, the Mountain Master Function is really extraordinary. I was hidden so deeply, but you still discovered me. A dark shadow appeared, shrouded in mist, unable to see clearly. But soon, the fog dissipated, and a man appeared, also wearing a mask. From the perspective of breath, this person is also the ancestor of the half-step domain of the normalization realm. Wanfa Daozu, get out of the way, I'll deal with him. The half-step domain ancestor of the mysterious reunification realm appeared at the Shuangtian Emperor and stopped the Shuangtian Emperor, while Yi Tian withdrew from the battle circle between the Shuangtian Emperor and the mysterious Taoist ancestor. At the same time, Yi Tian used the copy talent to cover the countermeasures and check the opponent's talent situation. Judging from the talent situation, Yi Tian knew his identity. Chen Lingtian, this is the name of the other party, and from the introduction of the other party is called Lingtian Daozu. He didn't know the situation of the God Heaven realm, so he didn't know Lingtian Tao Ancestor. Maybe the other half-step realm ancestors in Haifeng Mountain had heard of it. With Lingtian Tao Ancestor blocking Shuangtian Emperor Ancestor, Yi Tian would have the opportunity to deal with other half-step domain ancestors of the realm of everything. Equals 1274 underscore chapter underscore 1274 underscore 3 underscore million underscore years dot txt equals. Chapter 1274 3 million years. When Yi Tian fought against the Emperor Shuangtian, he used the power of the extreme way a lot. Therefore, when he fought against the ancestors of the all-world realm half-step domain of the devouring clan, it was impossible to use the power of the extreme way all the time, and only regarded the power of the extreme way as a killer. As time passed, the victorious Libra began to lean towards the ancient world. One by one half-step ancestors of the realm of all things fell into the hands of Yi Tian, and Yi Tian went to kill those ordinary swallowing clan half-step ancestors, almost killing them with one blow, too easy. It didn't take long for the number of half-step ancestors of the devouring clan to drop significantly, and they began to equalize with the half-step ancestors from Xuanshu to the ancient world, and the other half-step ancestors from Xuanshu to the ancient world basically did not have much pressure. Therefore, the invincible Tao ancestors did not need to block the half-step ancestors of the devouring clan, and began to surround and kill the invincible Tao ancestors of the devouring clan. After a few, 497 hours. The devouring clan of the realm below the half-step domain ancestor were all wiped out, and even the half-step domain ancestors of the devouring family suffered heavy losses. At this moment, the power of the treasure of Belu Emperor ancestor is about to be exhausted. Once the strength is exhausted, he is not the opponent of Function Mountain Master at all, and he will not be able to support it for long. Go back, Emperor Belu said helplessly. If he didn't retreat, the other devouring clan would be finished, and even he would be finished. Emperor Shenshui, Emperor Zan, and Emperor Wanjun wanted to leave for a long time, so when they heard the words of Emperor Belu, they immediately prepared to leave. Devouring clan, retreat all. The four great ancestors transmitted the sound. Shish. The four great ancestors withdrew instantly, and the other devouring clan also shuttled away one by one. Shuangtian Emperor ancestor secretly scolded the other devouring clan as waste, but all the other devouring clan retreated, and he couldn't fight against so many half-step domain ancestors of the Oneness realm alone. Once Function Mountain Master and Lingtian Daozu unite, there may be hope to keep him. As a result, Shuangtian Emperor ancestor also withdrew. When they were withdrawing, the devouring clan was killed by several half-step ancestors. Stop chasing. Function Mountain Lord stopped the half-step ancestors who wanted to hunt down the devouring clan. After all, he still understands the truth of the poor thieves not chasing them. What if I chase and kill in the past and fall into the ambush of the devourer? Besides, who can guarantee that the devourer will have no other cards? So, take it as soon as you see it. After the devouring clan retreated, the Taoist ancestors from the Xuanshu to the ancient world also began to clean up the bodies of their companions and return to the Xuanshu to the ancient world one by one. After this battle, the devouring clan did not dare to invade Xuanshu to the ancient realm, or would not dare to invade in a short period of time. Black Wind Mountain. The ancestors of the half-step domain came back one by one, and immediately sorted out the loss. This time, Haifeng Mountain has also lost a lot, and nearly 1,000 Supreme Tao ancestors have fallen. Although it is easier to give birth to Supreme Tao ancestors in today's era, it is really too much to lose thousands of Supreme Tao ancestors all at once. In the past, how could there be so many Supreme Tao ancestors in Haifeng Mountain, and all the Supreme Tao ancestors add up to far less than 1,000? And Haifeng Mountain also lost more than 20 invincible Tao ancestors. Such a loss is also very heavy. Even the half-step domain ancestor, Haifeng Mountain fell 3. Fortunately, at the half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things, Haifeng Mountain did not fall, which is a fortunate thing. After Yi Tian came back, it took a long time for him to recover from the injury. After all, he was injured by the half-step domain ancestor of the unification realm. This kind of injury is not an ordinary injury. Even the power of the forbidden source cannot be repaired quickly. It takes a long time to retreat and cultivate slowly to recover slowly. As for the healing alone, he spent thousands of years, and he was still healing within the time array, and the real time spent far exceeded the 1,000 years. After recovering from the injury, Yi Tian often went in and out of the cultivation space of the Eternal Origin Stone statue, and often relied on the Eternal Origin Stone statue to comprehend the mysteries of the domain ancestor. Yi Tian's talent and potential are indeed very strong, especially he has a lot of forbidden talents, and he surpasses others by many times in practice. But in comprehending the mysteries of the ancestors of the domain, the taboo talent is useless, only one's own comprehension is useful. Yi Tian's comprehension is indeed very high, and there is a super god level super comprehension talent, but it is still a bit difficult to quickly understand the mystery of the ancestors. It is also fortunate that Haifeng Mountain has the Eternal Origin Stone statue, otherwise, with his speed of enlightenment, it would take a long time to realize more secrets of the domain ancestors. The devouring clan suffered heavy losses this time, and they did not continue to attack. The powerhouses from the Xuanshu to the ancient realm did not dare to enter the devouring clan. After all, it was the old nest of the devouring clan. The devourer race is not the taboo Zerg. The taboo Zerg has not grown up at all, but the devourer race has grown, and it has the background of the domain ancestor level. Therefore, the major forces are not willing to take risks. Moreover, if they were given time, the major forces could develop rapidly. As long as a domain ancestor is born, Xuanshu dares to invade the devouring world when he reaches the ancient world. Therefore, the major forces from the Xuanshu to the ancient world are not in a hurry at all, the real hurry is the devouring clan. Without the threat of the devouring clan, Yi Tian naturally has time to cultivate. 10,000 years and 10,000 years have passed. Yi Tian is completely immersed in the mystery of understanding the ancestors of the domain, and this practice has passed 3 million years. After 3 million years of comprehension, and with the help of the eternal origin stone statue, Yi Tian has comprehended enough the mysteries of the domain ancestor and has a sufficient understanding of the domain ancestor level. Once the perfect flesh body of the half-step domain ancestor of the Return to One realm and the Forbidden Way of the All-World realm are perfectly integrated 5.8, and the forbidden body reaches 100% perfection, and then master the true meaning of the domain ancestor, you can hit the realm of the domain ancestor. But the real domain ancestor realm is itself a small taboo source, which can control the taboo rules, and their taboos can be combined by themselves, thereby creating more incredible secret techniques and domain techniques. The mystery of the domain ancestor refers to the evolution and change of the taboo rules. Only by allowing the self-comprehension of the taboo rules to continuously evolve and evolve can it cause the transformation of the spirit, and thus be promoted to the half-step domain ancestor. But now, Yi Tian has already learned enough of the mysteries of the domain ancestors, and has been promoted to half-step domain ancestors with certainty. This day, Yi Tian began to retreat in the human world, ready to attack the half-step domain ancestor realm. Equals 1275 underscore chapter underscore 1275 underscore breakthrough underscore half step underscore domain underscore ancestor dot txt equals. Chapter 1275 Breakthrough, Half Step Domain Ancestor. Human World, Yi Tian's Retreat. At this moment, Yi Tian is retreating to attack the half-step domain ancestor level, and the taboo rules in his origin are undergoing subtle evolution. With the evolution of the taboo rules, the soul begins to transform, causing the transformation of the body and the power of the taboo. Once the transformation is successful, Yi Tian will become a half-step domain ancestor. And this transformation process is very long, at least tens of thousands of years. If there is a little error in the middle, it will cause the transformation to fail. Of course, as long as you comprehend the mysteries of the ancestors enough, you will almost never fail to break through. Yi Tian made a calculation and confirmed that he could break through 100% successfully, so he chose to break through. As time passed, Yi Tian's breath became stronger and stronger. A day close to 10,000 years ago, Yi Tian's body ushered in a huge transformation, which was transformed from the body of the invincible Taoist ancestor to the half-step domain ancestor's body. Moreover, Yi Tian's primordial saint body has also improved a lot by 29 times, from the beginning level of entry to the peak of entry level, and it is only one step away from the small completion of the holy body. At the same time, Yi Tian's extreme power has also skyrocketed, and he can persist in the battle for a longer time. Of course, Yi Tian's biggest change was the growth of his spirit and energy, and the improvement of his cultivation made his strength undergo a significant transformation. When he was invincible Daozu before, his combat power was comparable to that of the top half-step ancestor of the realm of all things. But now it's different, his conventional combat power is comparable to that of the half-step ancestor of the homecoming. For example, if he encounters Emperor Shuangtian again now, even if he is still not the opponent's opponent, he will not be hanged and beaten, at least he can contend for a period of time, and he will not be killed by the opponent. Moreover, Yi Tian has just broken through to the half-step domain ancestor level, and Yi Tian still has a lot of room for improvement. I have a lot of all things star sand on my body, so many all things star sand should be enough for my body to evolve to the level of all things. Once my body enters the realm of all things, my strength can increase a lot again. Yi Tian thought to himself. The realm of all things is a realm, and the body of the ancestors of the half-step domain echoes all things, and the degree to which the physical body controls the rules is not directly related to the strength of the physical body. For example, Yi Tian's physical power is stronger than the physical body of the realm of all things, but the realm of the physical body has not actually reached the level of the realm of all things. As for the taboo way of all things, you need to have enough insight and understanding of the taboo way, so that you can control all things with the taboo rules, and this is directly related to the evolution of the taboo rules, and it takes a long time to retreat. Therefore, it still takes a long time for Yi Tian to transform the taboo rules into everything. Therefore, his current goal is to first elevate the physical body to the level of the realm of all things. Yi Tian took out a grain of all things star sand, swallowed it, and then began to refine this grain of all things star sand. Boom! The power of all things Xingquansha spread to Yi Tian's body, and I saw strands of taboo rules tempering Yi Tian's body, as if countless dense lines appeared on his body, which looked very strange. But this is the tempering method of all things star sand, very rude, but very effective. The energy contained in a grain of all things star sand is very amazing, so it took Yi Tian 1,000 years to finally refine it. Then, Yi Tian began to refine the second grain of all things star sand. In this way, every grain of all things star sand was refined by Yi Tian, and Yi Tian's physical body became stronger and stronger, and the physical body could vaguely control all things and control the taboo rules. Others may have dozens of grains of all things star sand to advance their bodies to the level of all things realm, but Yi Tian has already refined 500 all things star sand at this moment, and only then has he touched the threshold of all things realm. In the blink of an eye, Yi Tian refined more than 200 grains of all things star sand, almost used up 90% of all things star sand. This day, Yi Tian's physical body has ushered in a transformation. His physical body seems to be able to breathe, exhaling the power of the taboo rules. The physical body seems to be the master of the taboo rules, and can manipulate the taboo rules at will, bursting out terrifying physical combat power. At this moment, his fleshly body has entered the level of all things. The physical body has stepped into the realm of all things. Yi Tian's strength has at least increased by about 30%, and the half-step ancestors' combat power of the normalization realm has increased by 30%, which is already a huge improvement. The physical body has entered the realm of all things, and can continue to improve, but it has not really entered the realm of half-step ancestors of the realm of all things. It will be very difficult to continue to improve the physical body of the realm of all things, and a lot of resources are wasted. Therefore, Yi Tian temporarily gave up cultivating the physical body of the realm of all things, and instead practiced the Forbidden Way, and strived to raise the Forbidden Way to the level of the realm of all things as soon as possible. This day, Yi Tian was in retreat, and suddenly a supreme Taoist ancestor of the human race reported a message, saying that the true martial master of the Heavenly Emperor Palace came to him. Palace Master Junwu is looking for me. Could it be because of Ouyang Jor? Yi Tian guessed. Immediately, Yi Tian left the human world and met with the Palace Master Junwu outside the human world. Avoid outside the human world. Palace Master Junwu wears a black robe, which can block spiritual detection. When Yi Tian came out, Palace Master Junwu took off his black robe to reveal his figure. Palace Master Junwu, you are dressed so that you are afraid of being recognized by others. What is it? Yi Tian asked. Palace Master Junwu said urgently, Wanfa Daozu, I'm here to ask, something happened to Miss Jor. What happened to Jor? Yi Tian frowned and asked quickly, what happened? Junwu Palace Master said, the whereabouts of Jor were discovered by the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and the others, who are the confidants of Hao Hai Si Ancestor. Now that they have learned about Jor's whereabouts, they are chasing and killing Miss Jor. Jor Dajiji is trapped in a forbidden void realm. Jor is the realm owner of the Forbidden Void Realm, so relying on the Taboo Void Realm, he can temporarily resist the Dragon Shadow Palace Lord and the others. But the Forbidden Void Realm is known to be able to resist the domain. The attack under the ancestors is difficult to break, but with the background of the Tiandi Palace, there is naturally a treasure that specializes in breaking the world, so it is not difficult to break the Taboo Void Realm. Once the Taboo Void Realm is forced, Miss Jor will be killed even if she doesn't die. Hold on, there is no chance of escape. Where is Jor now? Yi Tian asked. Immediately, Palace Master Junwu revealed the location of Ouyang Jor. And Yi Tian tore up the space and went to that place to rescue Ouyang Jor. Equals 1276 underscore chapter underscore 1276 underscore arrive underscore in underscore time.txt equals. Chapter 1276 Arrive in Time. Mysterious to the ancient world, in a forbidden void world. Ouyang Jor mobilized the source of the taboo void world and constantly defended against attacks from the outside world. Forbidden Void Realm's concealment method is not as good as Haifeng Mountain's small realm. It is difficult for the half-step domain ancestors to find the small realm of Haifeng Mountain, but he can find the Forbidden Void Realm, so Ouyang Jor escaped into this taboo void. There is no way to hide it. Boom! The outside world's Dragon Shadow Palace Master, Lei Jia Palace Master and many other half-step ancestors kept bombarding this taboo void realm, trying to break the taboo void realm and capture Ouyang Jor. Palace Master Hanyu, I didn't expect that you haven't fallen, and you are also in the ancient world. Unfortunately, you shouldn't be exposed. The Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace said coldly, and his voice entered the Forbidden Void Realm. Ouyang Jor was very desperate. In fact, she had always been very careful. She had not participated in the many battles in the ancient world. Even the last time, when Xuanxu arrived in the ancient realm to fight against the devouring clan, she also hid, and did not participate, for fear of being discovered by the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and the others. Anyway, she is just an ordinary half-step domain ancestor, her strength is far less than the half-step domain ancestor of the realm of all things, and it is not very useful. Therefore, her participation in the war or not, the influence is not very big. But not long ago, when she was competing for a treasure in a treasure land, she was recognized by an invincible Taoist ancestor in the Tiandi Palace. The invincible Daozu is also a very ancient invincible Daozu, and he has seen it as the Palace Master Hanyu, so even if Ouyang Jor is reincarnated, he also recognizes Ouyang Jor's forbidden Dao technique. The other party did not show any emotions at that time, and after returning to the Tiandi Palace, he reported it to the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and the others. So, the chase began. Fortunately, Palace Master Junwu sent the message in time, otherwise, with her ordinary half-step ancestor's strength, even if she was comparable to half-step ancestors like Eternal Daozu and Shenshu Daozu, she was far from being an opponent of Dragon Shadow Palace Master. Therefore, she withdrew to her Forbidden Void Realm in time, so that she could barely block Dragon Shadow Palace Master's attack with the help of the Taboo Void Realm. Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace, I brought it from the Boundary Tower. Shuanghui Palace Master shuttled over, and a small tower appeared in his hand. This small pagoda is one of the supreme treasures of the Tiandi Palace, dedicated to breaking down the barriers of the world. Although the defense of the Forbidden Void Realm is strong, if the half-step domain ancestor of the Unity Realm holds the breaking tower, it is enough to break through the world barrier of the Taboo Void Realm and enter the Forbidden Void Realm. The Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace picked up the Boundary Tower and began to urge the Boundary Tower to bombard the Forbidden Void Realm. Boom boom boom, the boundary breaking tower turned into a giant tower, breaking into the Forbidden Void world barrier in the depths of the void, constantly hitting the world barrier. Under the power of the boundary breaking tower, the world barriers began to crack. Forbidden Void Realm. Ouyang Jor was very nervous. Once the world barrier of the Forbidden Void world was broken, she would have nowhere to hide. With the strength of the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master, she could easily be captured. I don't know if anyone will help me, Ouyang Jor thought to herself. She thought of Yi Tian, but even Yi Tian couldn't save her. Although she heard about Yi Tian's record, she killed many ancestors of the half-step domain of the Devouring Clan with her own power, and has a combat power comparable to that of the half-step ancestors of the homeland, but this kind of combat power is not stable, raised by some means. The Heavenly Emperor Palace can easily block Yi Tian just by dispatching the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master. If the Dragon Shadow Palace Master makes a move to capture her, Yi Tian will not be able to rescue her. Unless the Mountain Master of High Function also shot, how could the Master of Function be able to make a move? Strictly speaking, she is the Hanyu Palace Master of the Heavenly Emperor Palace, and a member of the Heavenly Emperor Palace. It is an internal contradiction for the Dragon Shadow Palace Master to arrest her. Therefore, High Function is not easy to intervene. Moreover, she knew what she represented to the Heavenly Emperor Palace. Once the Heavenly Emperor Palace caught her, the Hao Hai Sea Ancestor would definitely reward her in the future, and their status in the heart of the Hao Hai Sea Ancestor would naturally be higher. Therefore, they would really go to war with Haifeng Mountain because of him, but Haifeng Mountain would not go to war with the Heavenly Emperor Palace for an outsider. My hope of avoiding this catastrophe is too small. Ouyang Jor murmured. Outside world. The Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace kept bombarding the world barrier with the cracked tower, and the world barrier of the Forbidden Void world kept cracking. Finally, click, the world barrier of the Forbidden Nether Realm has been pierced. Ha ha ha, Palace Master Hanyu, you are finished. Without this taboo void world, how can you compete with us with the strength of your ordinary half-step ancestor? Even if your strength is not far from the half-step ancestor of the realm of all things, there is no the way to escape. Even if you are given the strength of the ancestors of the half-step domain of the realm of all things, you are still an ant in front of the Tiandi Palace. We won't kill you so quickly. I will definitely wait for Hao Hai Sea Ancestor to come, and then hand you over to him. The main road of the Dragon Shadow Palace. But right now. A voice came. Longdiang Palace Lord, Ouyang Jor is my friend. As soon as the words fell, Yi Tian came. Seeing Yi Tian, Palace Master Longdiang and Palace Master Lei Jia, their expressions changed. When they saw that Yi Tian's cultivation level was raised to the half-step domain ancestor, their expressions changed greatly. At the beginning, when Yi Tian was invincible Dao ancestor, he erupted in combat power comparable to the half-step domain ancestor of the returning Unity realm. And now, Yi Tian's cultivation base has been raised to the half-step domain ancestor level. Isn't the combat power even more terrifying? Therefore, the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and the Lei Jia Palace Master are extremely afraid. Palace of Thunder Tribulation, you will start shaking later. I will block the Dao ancestor of Wanfa. You go and catch Palace Master Hanyu. Once you live in the Palace Master of Hanyu, return to Manujiao Tiandi Palace immediately. Even if the strength is stronger than me, it can't help our Heavenly Emperor Palace. The Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace reminded. Good find. The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation responded. Boom. Yi Tian came down, looked directly at the Palace Master Longying, and said, Palace Master Longying, give me a face, and just retreat, how about it? The Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace said in a cold voice, the Palace Lord Hanyu is a traitor of our Heavenly Emperor Palace. It's not good for us to catch our own traitor, and the Daozu Wanfa would not be able to intervene. Yi Tian sneered. Traitor, you should know exactly what the situation is, and I will not argue with you. In this life, Ouyang Joer is my friend and has nothing to do with your Heavenly Emperor Palace. For the sake of face, Tiandi Palace is my enemy. Besides, with me here, you can't take Joer today. Go. The Dragon Shadow Palace Master urged the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master to say. Equals 1277 underscore chapter underscore 1277 underscore repel underscore tiandi underscore palace underscore and underscore save underscore uyang underscore jur.txt equals. Chapter 1277 Repel Tiandi Palace and save Uyang Ju and #039. Boom. The Dragon Shadow Palace Lord took the lead and blocked Yi Tian. And the Palace Master Lei Jia also rushed into the Taboo Void World and wanted to catch Ouyang Joer first. I have to say that the thoughts of the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master are very good. If the other half-step ancestors of the Unified Realm face the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master, then this plan will definitely succeed. But they forgot that Yi Tian also had the ability to duplicate his body. Forbidden Void Realm. The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation had just arrived, and another figure came in. This person is wearing a black robe and wearing the Mask of High Function, and his cultivation is also at the half-step ancestor level. Dark King, no, you are the avatar of Wanfa Daozu. The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation was shocked. Roll. Yi Tian's copy body shot, and as soon as he shot, he exerted the power of the extreme way, and broke out the combat power of the top half-step domain ancestor of the top-level normalization realm. Bang! The Thunder Tribulation Palace Master was sent flying, his body cracked and he was injured. Although it was a minor injury, he had to admit that Yi Tian's strength was much stronger than that of the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master. Your clone can still exert the combat power of the top half-step ancestor. The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation was shocked. Before, during the battle with Devouring Race 497, Yi Tian was about to fall, and the clone did not appear. At that time, he thought that Yi Tian's clone strength was not strong, and it was not the strength of the main body, so it was useless to send it out. Unexpectedly, Yi Tian's avatar appeared again, and he also possessed the combat power of the top half-step ancestor. This is so weird. The other side. Yi Tian's body was fighting with the Dragon Shadow Palace Master, and the Dragon Shadow Palace Master was hanged. At this time, the other half-step ancestors of the Heavenly Emperor Palace did not dare to insert them at all. After all, Yi Tian could kill an ordinary half-step ancestor with a single blow, and even an ordinary half-step ancestor would be killed by Yi Tian. One-hit kill. Therefore, with the exception of Palace Master Longying and Palace Master Lei Jia, the other Palace Masters did not dare to approach at all, let alone catch Ouyang Joer. Brother Yi is so powerful, Ouyang Joer said in shock. The half-step ancestor who crushed the Palace Master of the Thunder Tribulation realm was almost equal to her father's strength. At the beginning, her father also had the strength of the top half-step domain ancestor of the top level, but it was a pity that he died unexpectedly in the end, otherwise her father would be a domain ancestor today. Puff. The body of the Thunder Tribulation Palace Master was pierced, and the injury gradually increased. At this time, Yi Tian threatened. Lei Jia Palace Master, why don't you retreat? Otherwise if I attack the other Palace Masters of your Heavenly Emperor Palace, you can't stop. If you don't want the Heavenly Emperor Palace to have only your two Palace Masters left, get out of here immediately. 1. The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation was very angry, but he was really afraid that Yi Tian would do this. So, the Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation withdrew. Palace Master Longing, let's go, I won't be able to catch Palace Master Hanyu today. The Thunder Tribulation Palace Master communicated. Walk, the Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace also said helplessly. With Yi Tian here, they are not opponents at all, and there is no way to capture Palace Master Hanyu. Yi Tian didn't chase after the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master. Although he could beat them, it was more difficult to kill them. At the level of unity, even if the gap between killing each other is a bit large, it is difficult to kill each other. Moreover, Yi Tian's extreme power cannot be displayed indefinitely, although it lasted a little longer than the invincible Dao ancestor, but the time was not long. Therefore, it is impossible for him to continue to fight with the Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master. After Palace Master Longying and Palace Master Lei Jia left, Ouyang Jor came to Yi Tian and thanked him. Brother Yi, thank you. We are friends, it's right to save you, Yi Tian said with a smile. Later, he learned from Ouyang Jor how she was discovered. I have to say that Ouyang Jor's luck is a little worse, CJFI. This forbidden void realm has been discovered. If Ouyang Jor continues to live here, it is not safe. If Yi Tian retreats to practice one day later, Ouyang Jor will not be able to stop the attack of the Heavenly Emperor Palace. Therefore, Yi Tian invited Jor, go to the human world. The human world is also a medium taboo void world, it is safer for you to cultivate there. The Heavenly Emperor Palace will never dare to invade the human world unless they are courting death. 1. It is good, Ouyang Jor agreed. Originally, she lived in the human world, but now she just went back. Afterwards, Ouyang Jor and Yi Tian returned to the human world. Tiandi Palace. Palace Master Longying and Palace Master Lei Ji are furious. Damn it, Wanfa Daozu is actually a friend of Palace Master Hanyu. Sooner or later, I want to kill Wanfa Daozu, but I will destroy us to capture Hanyu Palace Master. Hehe, to kill Wan Junzu, he is already comparable to the top half-step domain ancestor's combat power, and soon, he may be comparable to the one-level dedicated combat power like Function Mountain Master, he will kill us. Almost. What should I do, can't I just let Palace Master Hanyu go? Apart from this, what else can we do, unless we can break into the domain ancestor level, but this is not something that can be done in a short time. 1. Forget it, when the taboo world is born, let's invite Hao Hai Si Ancestor to come here. Once Hao Hai Si Ancestor comes, Wanfa Daozu will not be able to protect Hanyu Palace Master, and Wanfa Daozu will also die. Palace Master Longying and Palace Master Lei Jia discussed for a while, and then stopped thinking about Palace Master Hanyu. Anyway, they couldn't beat the Daozu Wanfa, so they could only temporarily give up the capture of Palace Master Hanyu. Shake. Thousands of years have passed, and the human race has begun to give birth to more invincible Dao ancestors one after another, and the half-step ancestors of Haifeng Mountain have gradually begun to be born, making up for the loss at the beginning. It is worth mentioning that the original Wind King, the current Xuanfeng Daozu, has also been promoted to the half-step domain ancestor level. It's a pity that the Fire King fell into the battle of the Devouring Clan. The Supreme Dao Ancestor and Invincible Dao Ancestor, which Yi Tian was familiar with at the time, had fallen a lot, and there were only a few familiar people left, and the Wind King was one of them. And Yi Tian, after thousands of years of hard work and the help of the Eternal Source Stone statue, finally raised the Forbidden Way to the level of breaking through. He is about to elevate the Forbidden Way to the level of all things. Once the Forbidden Dao has broken through to the Forbidden Dao, he will be the true half-step domain ancestor of the realm of all things, and his combat power may really be comparable to the half-step domain ancestor of the ultimate realm of Unity Realm. Equals 1278 underscore chapter underscore 1278 underscore breakthrough underscore again underscore the underscore realm underscore of underscore all underscore things dot txt equals Chapter 1278 Breakthrough Again, the Realm of All Things. This day, Yi Tian was comprehending the Forbidden Dao, and suddenly felt that the Forbidden Dao had entered another level, as if everything in the world was under the control of his forbidden rules, and every move shook the endless forbidden void. His forbidden way has broken through, and he has entered the realm of all things. Taboo Dao all things, the flesh, all things. At this moment, Yi Tian ushered in another breakthrough, and his cultivation was broken instantly, he entered the realm of all things. Flesh, forbidden power, soul are skyrocketing. Soon, the transformation was over, and Yi Tian officially entered the half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things. My strength has become a lot stronger, and now my conventional combat power is enough to match the top half-step ancestors of the unified realm. Once I use the power of the pole, I am afraid that I can be half as good as the top unified realm. The ancestors of the step field are fighting. Yi Tian muttered. What is the top half-step ancestor of the unification realm? The half-step domain ancestor who has reached the perfection of the realm of reunification is only one step away from breaking through the domain ancestor level, and he has cultivated at least one taboo technique to the perfect state. Only such practitioners can be called the best. The top half-step ancestor of the unification realm. And Yi Tian's several taboo techniques have been cultivated to the perfect state, but he is still one step away from the ultimate realm. After all, his years of practice are relatively short, and even if he has a lot of taboo talents, it is impossible to complete all the taboo techniques at once. Cultivation to the extreme level. Once he cultivates the Forbidden Tao technique to the extreme level, his strength can be improved a lot. The cultivation base has reached the half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things, and the next thing to do is to constantly comprehend the physical body of the realm of all things and the forbidden way of the realm of all things, and strive to improve the physical body of the realm of all things and the forbidden way of the realm of all things to the perfect state. Once the flesh body and the forbidden way have entered the perfection level of the realm of all things, when all things are unified, they can step into the half-step ancestor level of the realm of unity. With my strength now, I don't need to be afraid of anyone in this realm. Even if I fight against Emperor Shuangtian again, I'm not weaker than him. Yi Tian has full confidence. In the days that followed, Yi Tian continued to retreat, practiced the Tao of the realm of all things, also practiced the holy body of primordial body, and at the same time comprehended the forbidden Taoism. Time goes by so slowly. Big things happen every once in a while in the Xuanshu to the ancient world. Many geniuses are born, and they have made a great reputation in the entire Xuanshu to the ancient world, and the human race is no longer a small force living under the Black Wind Mountain, but a huge force. Even those Zhouzhongtian forces are not enough to see in front of the human race. After all, the human race has a lot of invincible Taoist ancestors, a large number of powerful Taoist ancestors, and countless ordinary Taoist ancestors. This kind of scale is too amazing. How can there be a strong race in the general Zhouzhongtian forces? Therefore, there are many geniuses born in the human race. It can be said that not only the human race is developing rapidly, but other forces are also developing rapidly. The Xuanshu to the ancient realm is also constantly expanding. According to this trend, the Xuanshu to the ancient realm will one day be promoted to the taboo realm. In the blink of an eye, tens of millions of years have passed since Xuanshu reached the ancient world. This day, Ouyang Zhuor came to Yi Tian. Brother Yi, I broke through. Ouyang Zhuor said excitedly. Yi Tian looked over and saw that Ouyang Zhuor's aura was no longer the level of an ordinary half-step ancestor, but a half-step ancestor of the realm of all things. He is not surprised that Ouyang Zhuor can break through to the half-step domain ancestor of the realm of all things. Ouyang Zhuor was also a Taoist ancestor who was promoted from the supreme true ancestor. Naturally, her potential is very high, many times higher than her previous life. She was able to break through to the half-step ancestor level in her previous life. The level is naturally not difficult. It's just that Ouyang Zhuor couldn't help with the eternal origin stone statue, so the improvement in cultivation was slower, so it took so long to upgrade to the half-step ancestor realm of the realm of all things. Yes, with your strength, as long as you improve it a little bit, even the Heavenly Emperor Palace will not try to catch you easily. Yi Tian praised. Brother Yi, what level of strength have you reached? Ouyang Zhuor asked curiously. Tens of millions of years ago, Yi Tian's conventional combat power had reached the level of the top half-step ancestor of the first-level homecoming, and the power of the extreme way was comparable to the top half-step ancestor of the first-level homecoming. Now tens of millions of years have passed, definitely stronger. For flowers, me, 1. Yi Tian pondered for a while, then said, it's roughly equivalent to the perfect combat power of the Unity realm. For tens of millions of years, he has cultivated those forbidden Tao techniques one by one to the extreme level, and the primordial saint body has entered the realm of minor achievement. Although the physical body and the forbidden Tao have not yet been promoted to the perfect level of the realm of all things, the gap is not too big. As a result, his conventional combat power has suddenly soared to a level comparable to that of the top allied realm. Such strength, I am afraid that it is comparable to the Function Mountain Master who is full of combat power. Of course, he had never fought against Function Mountain Master, so he didn't know who was stronger and who was weaker. However, He felt that the Mountain Master function was very mysterious, not very simple, and perhaps not at the level of unity. Because, he has used the copy talent to scan the function Mountain Master many times. The strange thing is that he did not scan any talent situation, which is very abnormal. He believed in the power of copying talent, and even the One Realm could not hide the copying talent, but function Mountain Master had no talent. Then, there are the following possibilities. One is that the Lord of Function Mountain is not the main body, but only a clone, so there is no talent situation. Second, there is a special treasure on Function Mountain Master, which can block the exploration of copy talent, but the possibility of this situation is not very large. If Function Mountain Lord is really just a clone, then his main body is very likely to be the ancestor of the domain. Function Mountain Lord rarely makes a move, and he doesn't make a move unless he can. The last time he faced the invasion of the devouring race, he had no choice but to make a move, and he didn't seem to make a lot of moves at other times. Otherwise, with his combat power, it's easy to crush the Tiandi Palace. Yi Tian thought to himself. After Ouyang Zhuer left, Yi Tian came to Function. Today, he came here for two purposes, one is to witness his own strength, and the other is to investigate the situation of Function Mountain Lord. Yi Tian came, and Feng Shanshan appeared. After all, Yi Tian is not an ordinary half-step domain ancestor, but a half-step domain ancestor with normalized combat power, so he naturally has to pay attention to it. Equals 1279 underscore chapter underscore 1279 underscore the underscore division underscore of underscore the underscore ancestors underscore of underscore the underscore domain underscore second dot txt equals. Chapter 1279 The division of the ancestors of the domain. Second. Myriad Fa Daozu. 1 inch. Mountain Lord. Yi Tian greeted each other with Function Mountain Master. Yi Tian chatted with Function Mountain Master for a while, and then opened his mouth and said, Hill Master, my strength has improved rapidly recently, and I don't have a specific standard for my own strength, so I want to discuss with the Mountain Master. Let's learn from each other, this. The Mountain Master Function frowned and seemed a little reluctant. Master, is this inconvenient? Yi Tian asked. Before, he only had half of his doubts, but now he has 90% doubts that the body of Function Mountain Master is not the body, otherwise Function Mountain Master would not even hesitate to discuss. It's not inconvenient, it's just. Function Mountain Master didn't know what to say. He actually knew that Yi Tian was suspicious. In fact, not only Yi, 497, was suspicious, but many half-step ancestors of Haifeng Mountain were also suspicious, because the number of shots he made was too few, and if he really made a full shot, he would go sub-devourer invasion. The other half-step ancestors are not fools, and they will naturally suspect something. He knew that Yi Tian came to learn from each other today as secondary, mainly to test him. This temptation was not hostility, but curiosity, so he was not angry. Forget it, Dao Ancestor Wanfa, I'll tell you, in fact, I'm not the body right now. Function Mountain Lord opened the mouth and said. Not the body, Yi Tian asked curiously. Function Mountain Lord, what do you mean by this? Your body is not in the Daoshan boundary. Not here, said Function Mountain's master. My body is a special clone, but because it is too far away from the realm of the gods, there is no way to obtain energy supply from the main body, and there is no way to communicate with the main body. The formation is just to maintain the energy of this body. But every time I fight, the energy of this body will be severely depleted and it will take a long time to recover. The energy consumption is very serious, and it has only recovered now, but it has also paid a great price. Therefore, I will not shoot again unless there are special circumstances. Once there is a problem with this clone, I will not be able to locate it. Tiandi Palace there is a way to locate How High Ancestor. I naturally have a way to locate my own body, but I still need the taboo world as a medium. Mountain Master, so your body is also a domain ancestor? Yi Tian asked curiously. Yes. Function Mountain Lord nodded and said. My body is the ancestor of the mountain, and I have been at the headquarters of High Function, not only me, but also the ancestor of the mountain of Montenegro. We have 3 domain ancestors in Haifeng Mountain. My title is not actually called Function Mountain Master, but Kaifeng Yuzu. On that day, the How High Sea world was broken in a battle. My body naturally knew it, but I didn't know it. Dare to participate, otherwise it will be too involved. At the same time, we also generally know the plan of the Tiandi Palace, so we only let this clone enter the depths of the dark forbidden realm with the broken realm fragments. Even if there is a problem, it will only fall. The clone has little effect on the main body. So it is. Yi Tian suddenly realized. Immediately, Yi Tian asked again. Shanju, I'm curious about the domain ancestor level. What is the domain ancestor realm like? The domain ancestor, Function Mountain said. This realm is generally comparable to the Daozu level. There is a big gap between the powerful domain ancestors and the weak domain ancestors. At the level of the domain ancestors, the direction of everyone's cultivation. It is not to improve the cultivation base, but to improve the domain body and create domain techniques, and the best among them condense the holy body. There is a huge gap in strength between a domain ancestor who has a holy body and a domain ancestor who does not condense the holy body. According to the different strengths, the domain ancestors are divided into ordinary domain ancestors, elite domain ancestors, top domain ancestors, strong domain ancestors, invincible domain ancestors and supreme domain ancestors. Above the supreme domain ancestors, there is also a legendary combat power level, ancestor. Ancestor. Yi Tian was talking about this realm, but he didn't have any concept of this realm in his heart, but it was definitely an extremely terrifying existence. Function Mountain Master said again. Actually, about the first ancestor, our domain ancestors know very little information, and we only know the information from some ancient books in the dark forbidden domain. The realm of gods in heaven is indeed very powerful, with there are many domain ancestors, but in fact most domain ancestors are just ordinary domain ancestors. For example, I am an ordinary domain ancestor, and the founder of our Haifeng Mountain is a top domain ancestor. It is a pity that he has fallen. We the Haifeng Mountain Lord of Haifeng Mountain, that is, the real main mountain owner, is at the level of the elite domain ancestors. The elite domain ancestors are very powerful in the gods realm, but the real masters of the gods realm are the top 10 top domain ancestors. As for the supreme ancestor of the domain, there is not yet one in the realm of the gods. The ancestor of the sea is actually just an ordinary ancestor. From the perspective of cultivation, it is the late ancestor of the domain, and the domain body has entered the Dacheng realm. But this is the opinion of the half-step domain ancestors. But in fact, the domain ancestors don't look at the cultivation base. His real strength is only close to the elite domain ancestors. If he is in his vast sea world, he can play the battle strength of the elite domain ancestors. On that day, the How High Sea world was broken in a battle. It was an elite domain ancestor who led several ordinary domain ancestors to besiege the How High Sea ancestors. The How High Sea ancestors did not dare to go out. The world finally shattered the How High Sea world. It is rumored that the supreme secret treasure owned by the How High Sea ancestor can not only create a taboo world, but also give the ancestors the hope of hitting the strongest domain ancestors. So many domain ancestors are being targeted. After a pause, the Mountain Master Function said again. Actually, the elite domain ancestor and several ordinary domain ancestors are just a test. The powerhouses who are really eyeing the How High domain ancestors are those top domain ancestors, but they are self-reliant. It's not easy to do it first. Unexpectedly, How High Sea ancestor is so sure that he directly integrates the supreme secret treasure into the domain shards, and still enters the dark forbidden area. Let the plans of those top domain ancestors shattered. Hearing this secret, Yi Tian suddenly realized. Mountain Master, what exactly is that supreme secret treasure? Can't you find it now? Yi Tian asked. I don't know exactly what 5.8 is. When I was wandering in the dark forbidden realm, I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. So I gave up. Maybe when I entered the forbidden realm from the ancient world, that the true face of this supreme treasure will be revealed. The main road of Function Mountain. Yi Tian chatted with Function Mountain Master for a while before leaving. After Yi Tian left, the Mountain Master of Function murmured, Myriad Fa Daozu's talent is really terrifying, and now I am afraid that it is stronger than my avatar. Unfortunately, High Function does not have a strong inheritance, if not other opportunities, the elite domain ancestor is his limit. He didn't know that Yi Tian had obtained the holy body inheritance. After all, his knowledge was too short, and he didn't know the primordial holy body at all. Otherwise, he would not have said such a thing. Equals 1280 underscore chapter underscore 1280 underscore the underscore 7th underscore sacred underscore object underscore of underscore the underscore dark underscore forbidden underscore area underscore the underscore tower underscore of underscore war.txt equals Chapter 1280, the seventh sacred object of the dark forbidden area, the Tower of War. Back to the human world. Yi Tian was really stimulated by the words of Function Mountain Master. The domain ancestor level is divided into so many levels, and now he can't even beat ordinary domain ancestors. This strength is really nothing to be proud of. For example, the strength of the Pengsu who has met before is probably far superior to that of the top domain ancestors. After all, even the top domain ancestors may not be able to project their power to the Daoshan realm. Otherwise, the Hao Hai Heizu of the Tiandi Palace is probably already an elite domain ancestor, and there is no way to locate the Daoshan boundary, let alone project power over. However, Pengsu can project power, and can even exert the combat power of half-step ancestors. Such a terrifying strength. Moreover, Pengsu gave him an inheritance of the extreme way, which is more precious than the inheritance of the holy body. The next goal is to have the combat power of ordinary domain ancestors first. Yi Tian set a goal. According to his estimation, when he enters the half-step domain ancestor level of the reunification realm, he is likely to have the combat power of ordinary domain ancestors. If he reaches the ultimate perfection level of the unification realm, I am afraid that he can easily kill the weaker domain ancestors. In the days that followed, Yi Tian practiced even harder, striving to raise his cultivation to the half-29-step ancestor level of the unification realm as soon as possible. But it is too time-consuming to upgrade to the half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things. The Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master of the Heavenly Emperor Palace relied on the Gate of Stone Eyes, and they were able to break through after comprehending endless years in the Gate of Stone Eyes. And if Yi Tian doesn't have a real big chance, it's almost unrealistic to want to break through to the half-step ancestor level in a short period of time. And this time is calculated in billions of years. It is a pity that Xuanxu reaches the ancient world after all. It is only the ancient world, and there is almost no great chance to be useful to a half-step ancestor like him. Unless you go deep into the dark forbidden area, it is difficult to find useful opportunities. 20,000 years later on this day, a large taboo void world appeared somewhere in the Xuanxu to ancient realm. According to convention, 1.5-step ancestors entered this large taboo void realm to snatch resources. However, not long after entering this forbidden void world, a war broke out. And this battle attracted the attention of the ancestors of the half-step domain of the reunification realm, only because a very precious treasure appeared in this large taboo void realm. Wow! Outside this large taboo void, silhouettes appeared one after another. The first person to arrive here was Yi Tian, and then Jin Chen Daozu also came. As for Function Mountain Master not coming, after all, the other party is a clone. In order to reduce the fighting, naturally he will not come out. The Dragon Shadow Palace Master and Lei Jia Palace Master of the Heavenly Emperor Palace also came, and they also saw Yi Tian, and they all showed fearful expressions. They found that Yi Tian's cultivation was no longer an ordinary half-step ancestor, but reached the half-step ancestor level of the realm of all things, and was not the first to enter the realm of all things half-step ancestor level. At the beginning, when Yi Tian was still at the ordinary half-step domain ancestor level, he slaughtered them. Now, Yi Tian is afraid that he has the ability to kill them. So how can they not be afraid? Fortunately, there is still the threat of the devouring clan, so High Function will not take action against the Tiandi Palace, otherwise they will not dare to leave the Tiandi Palace in the future. Whoa whoa whoa! The four great unity realms entered this large taboo void realm, and quickly traveled to somewhere in the taboo void realm. I saw a pagoda here, a black pagoda, located in the center of the forbidden void realm. There is a famous half-step domain ancestor and many invincible Taoist ancestors standing around, and they are all staring at this pagoda. Is this a forbidden treasure? The Palace Master of Thunder Tribulation frowned. It's not a forbidden treasure, its aura far exceeds that of a forbidden treasure, said the Lord of the Dragon Shadow Palace. It's a holy thing. I don't know when the Mountain Master of Function actually appeared. Yi Tian was a little surprised. The Mountain Master of Function would never compete for opportunities, but last time it was because the Eternal Origin Stone statue was too precious, so he took action. Unexpectedly, the appearance of this pagoda made Function Mountain Lord appear again. Mountain Master, what is a sacred object? Yi Tian asked. Function Mountain Lord's eyes also revealed a little desire, saying, sacred objects are the existence above taboo treasures. In fact, many forbidden treasures in the ancient world are transformed by the projection power of sacred objects. And this pagoda is directly the level of the sacred object, shows how precious the sacred object that projected it is. I am afraid that it can be ranked on the list of sacred objects. Holy Relic List. Yi Tian heard an unfamiliar name again. Function Mountain Master knew that Yi Tian would ask, so he explained directly, holy objects are treasures that can only be born in the depths of the dark forbidden area. The ancestors of the domain are even the ancestors of the supreme domain. They can ignore the horror of the dark forbidden area, and even establish power and territory there. That is the holy land of the dark forbidden area. Unfortunately, without a certain strength, there is no way to enter there. They fell on the road and forgot, and the list of sacred objects is a list they made. However, I don't know what sacred objects are on the list. These words, the Lord of the Mountain function was transmitted to Yi Tian to hear, and others did not know. Someone's in. Jin Chen Dao Zhu Dao. The one who entered was an invincible Dao ancestor. The other party was very daring. He entered directly from the gate of the Black Tower, and he was not afraid of danger. Not long after, the invincible Dao Zhu came out. What's in there? 1.5 step ancestors asked. This invincible Dao ancestor did not dare to resist these half-step domain ancestors, so he said it. What, you said that there are other creatures in it? 497 1.5 step domain ancestors are incomparable. Yes, I entered it and came to a great hall with a lot of powerhouses in it, and then I entered a battle platform and fought with an invincible Dao ancestor, but I was instantly killed by the opponent. However, I did not die, but it was moved out. From other people, this black pagoda seems to be called the battlefield tower. The invincible Daozu Hui reported. Then, an invincible Daozu entered the battle armor tower and gradually learned the origin of this black pagoda. The seventh holy relic in the dark forbidden area, the Tower of War Realm. Yi Tian took a deep breath, only then did he understand the preciousness of this black pagoda. However, this black pagoda in the ancient world is not the real Zhangji Tower, but the power projection of Zhangji Tower, which can communicate with the real Zhangji Tower. Of course, the power of this battle world tower is limited, and it is impossible to transmit the powerhouse of the domain ancestor level. Moreover, this battlefield tower itself needs to consume energy, and once the energy is exhausted, it will be useless. Immediately, the major forces decided to spend all their energy to make this war world tower incarnation run. This time, it is an opportunity for the major forces to see the powerhouses in the depths of the dark forbidden area and the opportunity to practice the system. When the news spread, the entire mystical and ancient world boiled.